around, and I think that the way that they play with the enthusiasm and just that adrenaline, I think that's a real changing of the guard for what they've been able to do and bring that new energy into the place. I think that's a big thing with young teams. If you can bring that energy in, the sky's the limit with you, because as I've said all year, this is not the finished product with it. These guys have got a long way to go with their careers, so there's only the upward curve for them.
And we've got a chance before the break here to touch on a couple other finals going around the grounds here. So we're going to look at Div 1, the qualifying final today between Moorabark and Mitchum. Matt, we were out there a bit earlier this season, and it was a pretty competitive game for, I think, about 3 quarters, but Moorabark probably had that class to sort of run them out. You look at their ins, obviously that Mackie's still out, but Noonan coming back in, I think he's key, and he may have missed the East Ringwood game.
Yeah,
you could sort of see that loss of
I think that was
run in the midfield. So him coming back in the side, they've still got a pretty strong side. Mullet will be there, who missed early against Mitchum. Can you make a case for the Tigers?
I can make a case. I think Moorabark, the last few weeks after that East Ringwood game, they look to be just, and this could prove to be that they've actually just sort of rested subconsciously and sort of cruised into finals, knowing that they were going to get top 2 regardless. So that'll be interesting, because if we come out today and they've won by 10 goals, that probably proves that they were just holding something back. But on the other hand, I think Wanty South beat them last week, and Ray Baird was out there and it was through the middle. Noonan coming back in is massive. I think the bigger ground will help their midfielders, but I was making the case on the podcast yesterday that Jake Parenti and Tom Lovell, having the space of Tormore, they could wreak havoc if they get consistent entries and feed. So supply is probably the word I'm looking for. I can't make a case. I also think it's a free hit for Mitchum. So in terms of if Moorabark are to lose this one, they've lost 2 in a row, it'll be panic stations. They're into a do or die final. Mitchum aren't expected to win. Mitchum as well came into this season with, you could actually argue, less expectation than Montrose and Wanty South. But to make finals, they've already exceeded expectations. So I think that's the interesting thing. If Moorabark lose, like I said, there might be press the red button, because all of a sudden they're playing 2 sides that if Montrose win, they're coming in off 7 wins, and if Wanty South win, they're playing the side that beat them 2 weeks ago. So there's more at risk for Moorabark than there is Mitchum. But having said that, I don't think Mitchum's bottom 6 is good enough, especially at Tormore. There's nowhere to hide at Tormore. Despite the windy conditions, which probably means the scores will sway. I think Moorabark should get the job done, but look, there's my case for Mitchum.
Yeah, I think on the bigger ground, Mitchum's certainly going to be up against it. I just think from a depth point of view, through the midfield, probably just not going to be able to have enough class to do it, to get it done. But I just think from the Moorabark perspective, a few bets 4 or 5 weeks ago when they played East Ringwood and they had that big game where there was all the there was a couple of melees and there were
felt like a final spot. We were there.
Yeah, it just felt like there was a lot of tension within that Moorabark camp today, because it felt like the first time that they'd really been.
Well, they did, and that's a good point. And they did actually lose that game pretty much off the back of ill discipline. There was 3 free kicks to Stevie Donnell in the space of 10 minutes. Now, obviously, they're not playing Moorabark today, but it'll be interesting whether Mitchum go down that route and try to be niggly and bring that up again to see how Moorabark react. But also, Riley Monkhurst is key. The first half of the year, he was in the best players routinely, wasn't he, Josh? And his last 6 weeks, he sort of dropped off, and ruckman like Haining, the Deans brothers last week got a hold of him. So if Tom Lovell can spend some time at the centre bounce, he might also help them, a bit like Luke Jackson in the grand final last year.
Yeah, and possibly Zach Elms as well. I was impressed with his ruck game when we were out there at Heights Reserve this week. There's still no Will Gordon, though, which I think
Gordon, though, I think he plays better against your Haining, who's not a leaper. Monkhurst does have a leap. Will Gordon, he keeps his feet on the ground.
Yeah, he is still a blow, but I think Zach Elms and Tom Lovell can take it up to Monkhurst, and I reckon they wouldn't want to get him riled up just because if they get him riled up.
I just think Monkhurst is so key, because Moorabark's midfield, if they get first use, is amazing. But from all reports, that's where Wanty South won the game last week, Ryan. They won it. They won it using the Deans brothers' dominance, and then also the fact that Wong and co could get on top of a team that without Noonan and without Mackie. Their midfield actually it's Aussie Smith or bust, really.
Also down forward too. Wanty South took advantage of that because that forward line has been so potent.
Yeah, they kick a lot of goals, don't they?
Yeah. As well.
But I think Mitchum's forward line spider with Parenti and Jesse Smythe, and then if Lovell's down there as well, it's just as good. So that's why Noonan coming back so big, because they can at least play mullet up forward, Moorabark.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. And I always wonder about Mitchum's midfield. They're a bit younger, so guys like Alex Barton-Smith, Jesse Uren, They're young. They're early 20s.
Well,
they
Ewan
probably
played
don't have
well
the
last week,
experience.
and Barton Smith's been a really important player this season.
Yeah, so they will need to perform well in the midfield to get that done. But we are going to our first ad break. After the break, we should have Brett Rowe quite soon.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Match of the round between Ringwood and East Burwood. The qualifying final, big game here today. But before we get onto that, we'll have the Ringwood senior coach, Brett Rowe, shortly. But before that, we'll get into a couple more games that are going around the divisions here. We'll touch on Division 3, a massive qualifying final between the Waverley Blues and Warrandyte. The Waverley Blues have had an absolutely flawless season after their first loss against Warrandyte in round 1. Haven't really looked like being beaten since then. They've just a really strong side. They're fit. They use the ball really well. They're quick. Their ball movement has been, we watched them against Don Bell early in the season and Coldstream, the way they run from half back and transition, and they've got those forwards up in the forward half, Spider, that have just been able to be, unstoppable almost with Williamson and co.
Yeah, look, they have. Their four lines operated as good as anyone going around, and look, they've been kicking big scores all year. They've been sharing the load, and I think that's been a credit to them, and that's why they've earned that, the minor premiership. They've, secured that top spot. So they're going to be very hard to beat during this final series. Obviously, with Perry out of the side, that's going to be a big talking point going forward. Depending on whether they win today or whether they lose, depending if he's going to be able to have that eligibility to play during the final series. We'll have to wait and see. But, look, Williamson's just been a massive addition to their team. Kicking a lot of goals, and he really holds the key to whether they can win this premiership. But in saying that too, Warrandyte, we spoke about it yesterday on the forecast, about they've sort of had ups and downs right throughout the year. They've looked good at times, and then they've had their weeks where they've been down, haven't won by a lot, and then they've lost a couple of games by some margins, and then they had that horrible performance against Waverley during the middle part of the year, which was just a disaster for them.
Yep.
And a performance we just really raised our eyebrows about, because that wasn't a Warrandyte performance that we'd seen for a long period of time, and one that was, I'm sure, unacceptable within their four walls. So, look, they'll have to give it a real four-quarter performance today, Warrandyte, to have any chance. But Waverley, you just get the feeling all over the ground they're going to be too strong, because the way that they transition the ball from half back and they pull those levers, they move the ball quickly, they're going to be very hard to stop.
Yeah, Josh, Spider makes a good point, because even with Perry out of the side, you look at Williamson's obviously their key, leading goal scorer in the division, but then you've got guys like Steele and Langford who can drop forward. You can't shut down one without letting others open up and kick goals themselves, because multiple of them can kick 4 or 5 a game. How do you stop that? Because it puts a lot of pressure on that back six.
It's simple. You really can't. Just Warrandyte's defence is one of the better ones of Division 3, probably the best one behind Waverley Blues. But yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to stop, because they've got that many avenues to goal. It's quite remarkable how many avenues they have to goal. And yeah, we talk about how big a loss Matthew Perry is. He's not even their leading goal kicker in their main forward.
I don't think it'll bother him. You got Williamson, you got Mohammed, you got Ton Steele, Playstead. They'll kick. Langford's kicked a bag of 5 against Whitehorse. Goals are not going to be an issue for Waverley today.
We'll continue on this a bit later, but right now we are joined by Brett Rowe, the senior coach of the Ringwood Football Club. Brett, it's fantastic to have you in there. It's been another successful year. You've probably been the benchmark side over the last 4 to 5 years, just constantly playing finals, constantly yourself in a position to win one. How are the boys feeling?
Thanks for having me. Look. The boys are excited. I mean, it's always an exciting time this time of year, especially when you look what's happened the last couple of years. We haven't been able to have this. So, look, we're really excited about what's about to happen in front of us, and we're looking forward to the contest.
A lot of talk probably in the pre-season from our sort of perspective was how they go without having the Farmer boys there, but you've still got probably 14 or 15 players inside today that were in 2019 final series. They're players like Parker and that have really stepped up. How do you look at it? Is that going to help you today, just with the amount of experience that you have in high pressured games that really put you in a good spot?
Oh, absolutely. There was a lot of talk about losing Mitch and Trent, and that's understandable. They are really important players, very good players, but we knew that with the loss of them that we could cover them. It just made us a little bit more unpredictable, and with how we wanted to move the footy, and obviously so far so good. It's been good, and we'll just continue to just build on that for the next couple, for today, and move on. And the experience. Yeah, look, it always helps if people have played in these sort of games. Look, we've still got some young blokes that haven't played as well that are playing today, so it's an exciting time for them as well. So they're looking forward to it, and they're really embracing what finals footy is about.
Really great to chat to you. Always good to see you around
Spider,
this time of the year. Finals.
You're always walking past my house, Spider. So I always see you around, mate.
Is he always wearing his East Burwood jumper?
Yeah, it's always on. Always on.
I do miss our regular chats when we were neighbours, but we used to talk a lot of footy. So, but look, when you look back at the year so far, it's you had some really good wins, and when you played East Burwood in the game that you missed through your COVID experience, you sat that one out. I think we learnt that it was the outside run versus the inside run of you guys. I mean, East Burwood like to get on the outside. They're talented the way that they move the ball by hand and foot, where you guys like to work a little bit more in close with your inside hands and your stronger bodies. Is that the way that you're sort of going to try and let things roll today? Is that the way you probably assess on how this game's going to be decided this afternoon?
Oh, I think there's no doubt that the contest is where it will be run. I mean, yeah, look, we might be good inside, but I mean, you can't underestimate East Burwood. You look at the players that are in there, like Mariani, Martini, Spiteri, they're good inside players, and yeah, they spread well from the contest as well. So
all the Eries.
Yeah, all the Eries, yeah. We know that that's a really important part of the game that needs to be addressed today, and yet we've been good in that area. And our KPIs are like, if our contested ball is high, then we know if it goes a long way to us winning our footy. So But we want to think that we can get on the outside and move it quite well as well. Like we've got Jimmy Parker, and who runs really well up and down the line, gives us that really good outlet. So, we'll just see how it unfolds today, Spide.
Jackson been in really good form as well, kicking a lot of goals as well. So he's a key player for you here this afternoon.
Yeah, it is. Jacko's, I think people might forget, so last year he ruptured his patella tendon last year. And it has been one of the most disciplined recoveries I've ever seen.
To come back to one of my close friends, his patella tendon, running, and this is just playing cricket, but running is difficult, like swivelling. Not knowing that, to be the player he is today with explosiveness out of contests and agility, that's incredible. Yeah, it's been one of the most amazing recoveries I've seen. He's a very disciplined guy. Like, he's got his own PT coming, so he was 24/7, just working on his rehab, and you saw the progress every couple of weeks. He'd be posting something, and you just saw it was just an amazing transformation. And to get him, he was ahead of schedule. Their doctor and the physio were just amazed at how quickly he was recovering, and because he's so explosiveness, you thought, well, we might lose that, but no, he's taken it to another level this year. He's had an amazing year. Does that say more about his mental approach? Because coming back from injuries, it's often you're physically ready to go, and then it's just having confidence in yourself to forget about the injury, whether it's a niggle in your hamstring, a rolled ankle, or in this case, you're worried that your patella tendon might snap. Have you spoken to him? Have you tried to get other guys to sort of learn how he goes about it? Because his mental fortitude must be absolutely incredible.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt there was trepidation early.
Yeah.
When we first started coming back into training about, tackling and just changing direction. But once you have a contest and you survive it.
Just ticking boxes, aren't you?
Yeah, then he was like, right, I'm actually okay. So, but yeah, his mental strength is huge. And the players do tap into it.
Yeah.
He trains a lot of our younger guys in regards to strength training, the whole thing, dietary requirements. So to have him in our team is unbelievable. And he's just guiding our young people through now.
And then a ground like this will suit him, I would assume, because he can probably play more midfield minutes than he might originally play because he's so close to goal at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jacko's ability is just like he could be in a contest in the back half at the stoppage, and the next minute he's on the end of it having a shot at goal. Like, his just work rate's unbelievable. So it's a real strength for us and obviously for him.
Yeah, and just talking about players who can get on the scoreboard from midfield, you've got Sam Wadley, who's come down from Vermont this year. Stephen Brown's also been able to impact on the scoreboard. How do you reckon those players can, step up today and kick those crucial goals in the big stages? Yeah,
I think Sam's pretty important in this regard. Obviously, premiership player at Vermont. So he's played on fairly big occasions, Premier Footy. So he's very he's given us a real hard edge this year. And that's just his hardest at the footy. He's I haven't seen it for a long time. Just the way he goes at the footy. Sometimes you kind of just wince a little bit when he's going at it. You're like, oh, that could be Sam, but then he gets through, and that's the main thing. And Brownie's had his last month's been really good, Brownie. So just really raised a beautiful kick of the footy, and it's good to see him getting some rewards so far this year as well.
Your system is probably something that's been spoken about for years and years, and the way you guys are so disciplined and play it. How do you go transitioning it from Jubilee Park to Walker Park? Have you trained on the top oval this week, or
no,
is that an option?
That's a bit too small, that one. We've tried to mark.
Is it more important as well that the forwards? Do you think who struggles more when space becomes a bit more condensed? Do you think the backs will be fine? They'll be actually happy to have their teammates closer, or is it vice versa?
I think our backs will be happy because we have a really strong backline in regard to those that intercept. We've got some really good intercept markers, and so I think on a smaller ground, it probably suits them. As for the forwards, because we don't really have a big power forward, space, it's okay.
Everyone's happy to share.
Yeah, and if it gets to ground, then we've got our smalls that are up there that can go to work. So we're more than confident that no matter the size of the ground, we'll be okay. It's just because we're good at contested footy.
Yeah.
And we just know that's an important part. And then if our pressure around the source is really good, then it gives our front half great opportunity.
And Jaden Cairns won't go forward like he did out at Jubilee Park that day. Kicked an incredible goal. Didn't spin. Went straight through the middle.
He's one of the great floater kicks, Jaden. I bet you'll see one nice 9 wedge coming in today at some stage. But he's been good too, Jaden.
Yeah, Rowie. Are you more of a coach before the game? Are you more just keep it really simple just before the players run out? Or are you one that likes to have long meetings? Or do you like to let the players have their own time to get together in their own groups? How do you sort of manage that? Because that is important when you're coming into a finals game, because they've probably heard the voice all season.
Yeah.
They know what the game plan is, but it's that execution part of it now.
Yeah, look, I've always been, our team meetings have never been long, because the reality is like, they just want to get it. They just want to start preparing themselves as best they can.
Especially on a day like today, you just want to get moving, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's our meetings are never long. We just focus in on a couple of things, and then let them basically. Then I just leave them. I let them just do their own preparation, and I'll swing by. Like I'll go back down now and just walk amongst them and that sort of stuff, and just give them a few key points. But most of all, it's just I'll leave them be. I mean, they don't need their coach in their ear now when they've already been in their ear. When I've had my speech, they don't need to talk anymore to them. So
they've heard it 150 times before as well.
That's
mate.
right.
There's only so many speeches you got in the locker.
Correct. You got to keep going to the old trip bag sometimes to come up with something special, or just reword it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
Just before you go, is it, with the season constantly moving, it's hard to reflect, but do you sit down during this week and just go, wow, can you be really proud of just being able to make the finals again? Because it's a hard thing to do, and you've done it consistently over the last 5 years, and it's been really impressive from an outside point of view. Do you sit back and just, congratulate the boys and take those sort of little wins, just making it here, and then sort of step by step come finals?
Oh, absolutely. I'm really proud of our group. There's most coaches are, but I've got a real it's a real genuine care for this group, and the teams that I've coached the last few years here, and just the way they just want to just step up and front up every week, just put their body on the line, and is like I'm just so, as I said, just really proud of them. Like, they're just an amazing group. And every year we've brought in someone new, younger kids and that sort of stuff, and they've stepped up into the spot as well because they know what's required to play with us. So, and that's, I think that speaks volumes for our leaders more than anything, that the standard we play. But yeah, like I'm very proud of our playing group and what we've achieved so far. Long way to go still, but but it's we're glad that we're here, and there's 5 other clubs that would love to be in our spot. So we'll just keep enjoying what we have always. Always have a lot of fun, enjoyment, and just see where it takes us from here.
Well, thanks for joining us again, Rowie. It's been a fantastic year, and we're really looking forward to see how you go today and throughout the final series.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That was the senior coach of the Ringwood Football Club, Brett Rowe. Another fantastic year for Ringwood Spider. They've been the benchmark side in Div 2.
Well, they've been one of the benchmarks, and they've been such a great club for a long period of time. I mean, they've been around the mark, and they've shown signs that they're going to take the next step, and they've had that opportunity. So,
do you think, Spider? Sorry to jump in, but do you think? And I guess East Burwood are an example of this. They got, once the East Burwood got out of Division 4, it sort of blossomed. And obviously it's a different situation. They had to go down. But do you think Ringwood, obviously it's a well-known thing how many times they've just missed out. But do you think when they finally do get up, they might skyrocket? Because you could make a pretty strong case that they would easily make Division 1 finals.
Yep.
Last year's practice matches, they beat 3 Division 1 sides by over 10 goals, including East Ringwood. And I think they beat East Ringwood again this year in a practice match. Now, obviously, practice matches have so many variables in them. But do you think Ringwood are the kind of side that if they were to finally get up, they might just absolutely skyrocket to get that monkey off the back?
They could. Yeah, look, they're a side that could definitely be competitive if they got the opportunity for promotion. They're a club that look like they've got everything in order. They've got good depth. They've got across the board. And I think when you look at it, they had their time in the top division. They went down. They've been through the whole.
Well, Rowie obviously won the flag that got them into the top flight back in 05.
Exactly. So Rowie's been around a long time. He understands how to do it. He's been around. He knows the competition as well as any coach going around, and has done such a great job for a long period of time. So I think if the opportunity presents itself, I'm sure they'll do a good job.
They've definitely got all the building blocks in place. When you look at the ground now, the ground's it helps that you've got the Premier Cricket Club trying to get Sheffield Shield cricket. So the ground's in incredible condition. It's a great size. It's now level. It's not downhill. The rooms. In terms of the new rooms, they're going to have that one, and also Ringwood being, it's not a city or anything, but it's one of the bigger towns or the biggest suburbs in the competition. So everything is set up for them to blossom.
It went through a period of time where it wasn't a destination club within the Eastern Football League.
No, exactly. When it really should have been, given the size of Ringwood.
Exactly. So East Ringwood was that club for a long period of time. North Ringwood and Ringwood weren't those clubs, but it just seems like now Ringwood are starting to push their way back into that zone.
And you're right, and touching on, because we did think they may drop off a little bit this year without the Farmers, but it's a system-based side. Brett Rowe's a fantastic coach, and they've done an incredible job.
He's a Richmond fan, Ryan. He
we love that, don't you? We absolutely love that. But we are going to another ad break, and after the break, we'll be back touching on the other divisions.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you of $200 a year on water and energy. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Yes, welcome back to the Eastlands match of the round. It's qualifying finals time with Ringwood and East Burwood in Division 2 taking place today out here at Walker Park. Conditions look beautiful. That's good for us, Josh, because we'll be out in the boundary. But before we get to that, we've got a couple of important games tomorrow in this division. So South Belgrave have finished on top. They get the week off. Boronia and Basin next tomorrow afternoon back here. Should be a really interesting game. They played each other twice. They've had the draw earlier this season at Batterham. And then in the second game was a bit of a fascinating one. The Basin dominated early. And it really was just probably a half an hour, a third quarter, that Boronia came back, kicked 6 or 7 goals. And then the Basin ended up being able to hold on in the last quarter. But I see this as probably one of the matches of the weekend. I think this is going to be a real tight one, Spider.
Well, I've sort of said it yesterday on the forecast that I think that we'll have a couple of extra time games this weekend. We're definitely going to have one. And this,
Well, this would be my pick if you're going to
this
be
could
on.
be the one.
Can
or-
it not be our one? Can it not be this one? Because
Aw.
Ryan's going to go to the footy
Well,
tonight,
yeah, we've got
Josh.
the Tigers tonight, so we're going to be out of here.
That's not. The
Who
Tigers
cares
not
if he
relevant
misses?
tonight. Look, in regards to tomorrow's game, look, I think Baronia for me. I think I said it yesterday in terms of I like what they do through the midfield, and I just think up forward that's where they're going to get the job done. I think the physical side of things, the Basin is certainly going to come prepared to play, and they're going to take it up to the Basin, and they'll serve it up early to them. And if Baronia can ride that early in the game, and make sure that they get the scoreboard pressure on as well, then I think that they go all well to try and win this game.
I just think Basin coming in good form. They've smacked 2 teams in a row. Baronia look like things just aren't clicking at the moment. So I've got to be quiet though, because the Baronia hierarchy.
Clarkie's behind you.
They're down in the front. They're down the front row of the grandstand, and they're all a lot bigger than me. But yeah, I don't know. I just think the current form lines are a bit dangerous. But look, Baronia are good at finals. they always seem to make it to at least the prelim. So, and the other thing too that Baronia will take confidence out of is that, you know, if they did beat East Burwood last time of asking, and obviously they have the wood over Ringwood in finals. So if they can win, they'll be pretty happy with whoever they play in the second semi, first semi, whatever they're called. I always get it wrong. In next week.
I know you love those semi-final names, Matt.
We've got to change them, Josh. They don't make any sense.
It's tradition.
But it's just the ground out here as well at Walker Park. It suits the Basin's style of play, given, you know, batter and reserve. It's pretty much similar dimensions. It's shorter boundaries and a little bit of a shorter distance between goals. But yeah, Baronia are going to come out with a bit of a fight. And yeah, we touch on it as well on the weekend forecast. You can never trust the Basin. Earlier in the season, they won 3 in a row, but they haven't been able to reach those heights since.
You're right, because this has probably been the most consistent they've been probably all season, winning, you know, a couple of games on the back end of the season. But as you mentioned, Basin may enjoy this ground. I think Baronia will too, because they have not played well at Tormore this year compared to when they've gone elsewhere. They played really well at East Burwood, knocking off them later in the season. So I think they'll enjoy this ground pretty well, and they played there as well last season. Obviously, the Basin have 2 Spider, but I think, look, you know, they're at almost full strength. Obviously, last week probably makes it a little bit hard to tip them, but the only one I really think, you know, Mitch Mellis, you know, won't be obviously not going to be playing, and may not return for the season.
No, he's done for the year.
So I think besides that, they're pretty much at full strength. Jared Lake came back last week. He's the key down back. Is Jackson Drake playing? Because
no, he isn't.
So without him, you know, I think, you know, they may struggle to score the Basin as much as.
I think defensively, Baronia are okay. From what I've seen this year, I thought particularly when they played East Burwood, I thought they stood up really well. And I think they can, across the ground, counter that. So and when they go forward, they do have a number of options. So the Basin will have some pressure on them. And I just think through the midfield, they have a little bit more flexibility, Baronia, than probably what the Basin have.
Well, I see the Hawks tying it up. Obviously, the women's final last week, the Bears got over the line less than a goal. I think, you know, without Drake there, Drake kicked 4 in that first game at Batterham, and you know, really made it tough for him. And Boavita, the same thing in the second game. I think he kicked 4 in about, you know, 6 or 7 minutes. So I think at their absolute best, Baronia can win this. And I you know, look, it may sound silly, but I think they can get on a bit of a run. I'm not sure if the Basin next week, if they get through, would be able to knock off an East Burwood.
See, I go the other way. I think the Basin are more dangerous because they haven't got. I think you could argue that the Basin haven't played anywhere near their best all year.
They haven't.
But Ryan, we could have this argument for ages.
Right.
There are other games on.
We'll get on to Div 4 because I know Josh is itching to talk about
this.
this.
We can talk about it tomorrow too.
Yes, yep. So Sylvan versus Surrey Park, and I'll be one, to be honest, I have not really considered Surrey Park as a real threat, probably until last week where they were able to get the job done for the second time over the Cats. Josh, I'm going to start with you because I'm sure you can talk about this for a while, but
I could talk about this until the end of this game.
What about
Surrey Park jocks on?
What about the Panthers? You know,
well, you can't tell who you 3 blokes go for after this first hour pre-game. Spider almost wet himself when Stewie walked in the door. Ryan's trying to tell me Baronia are going to win the Premier Division flag.
And we all know, we can all tell that you're a neutral, Matt.
Exactly.
So, Josh, Panthers, what's changed after about the midway season? Obviously, change of coach. But coming out of that break, they've been in incredible form.
I think it's just their potency in attack. When, you know, that first half of the season, the first 8 or 9 games, they struggled to find avenues to goal. They struggled to, you know, consistently get dangerous balls inside 50, and that's really changed. That's that's been the real factor as to why they've done so well this year. James Kenworthy, he's come in and clearly he's implemented a different system out there, and he's done some brilliant stuff, which is why I reckon they stand a chance. They will love the open surface.
Haven't lost under his tutelage.
Yeah, and I reckon it can continue. They'll love the open spaces of East Burwood Reserve. It's much like Surrey Park. The only difference from East Burwood is that it's a little longer and they don't have those small forward pockets to wander in.
The fat pocket at the Aquanation end.
Aqualink end.
The fat pocket. When I used to umpire there, or you go there, and it's like the ball. It just doesn't go out of bounds. It's an incredibly deep pocket.
Yeah, and they've been in incredible form, obviously. But talk about Sylvan for a second. Did they put the foot off the pedal in that second half?
You would think so.
They're bringing back Travers. He's played 150 waffle games, so you assume he'd be okay on the bigger ground.
And Billy Rattray as well. Yeah. He's coming back in. He's kicked plenty of goals.
It's all in the middle. If Sylvan even break even in the middle, they'll kick more goals.
Yeah.
So you have to win the middle.
Yeah, and I think they have the midfield to do that. You've got Ryan Kennedy running through there. Parker Fox can sometimes run through there. They've got plenty of talent in midfield. They've also got a tall ruckman back in Jacob Woodfall. Joe Buru's did brilliantly last week against James Charge, but having Woodfall back, I reckon, is a massive in given his height, and he could be a bit of a difference in the ruck. But yeah, I think they'll be pretty confident as well, given they've won the last two meetings and they've both been out on a big ground too. I mean, we talked about it yesterday as well, that it could be that Sylvan haven't lost at a big ground. They've just lost at Surrey Park. They haven't won there in a long time. But I don't think they'll like playing on the bigger ground.
Is that all we're going to say about Sylvan? Are we going to talk about Sylvan at all now?
Let's talk about the Cats here for a second, because I really love what Trent Martin's done at the start of the season. He, I spoke to him, and a couple of ins, important ones. Ficker really coming over from Croydon. Jamie Haag back in the side. Kimpton stepped his game up to an obviously a new level with the 100 goals this season. James Charge as well. So. And they've been able to retain some under-19s who were in a premiership side, maybe 2-3 years ago, whenever that was. So they've done a lot, Spider. And what is it? What's their biggest strength right now? Is it their forward line? Because if they can win through the midfield, you'd think with those sort of forwards, a Kimpton at full strength,
I don't mean to jump in, but I think. I don't know what Spider's answer going to be. James Charge is the key, because if he at his best is a great tap ruckman. If he wins the tap ruck down to the midfielders they've got, Kimpton, doesn't matter who's on him.
Well, I would have said Kimpton, yeah. I think Kimpton's their man. If they get it down to it, I just don't think a defence like Surrey Park can hold him for the majority of the game and then go back the other way and kick a big winning score themselves. They have in the last couple of times they played, but in this sort of final, I just get the feeling that Sylvan are going to do enough to get over the line and win by about 5 or 6 goals. They're too good a team not to advance straight through to a grand final and not to it's always another one to Surrey. But I expect these two teams to play in the grand final.
I think you're right, and we can probably touch on the Chirnside Park game a bit tomorrow. But I would expect if Chirnside Park go through and Sylvan lose today, I can't see any way that
it'll be a
Chirnside Park getting
bloodbath,
close.
because Sylvan, that means they'll have gone 2 weeks without winning, and Chirnside on the other, and they'll need to get some sort of momentum.
They haven't got close to them all season, Chirnside Park.
Yeah, I just think Chirnside don't have any weapons.
They could win by 30 goals against Sylvan.
They averaged 30 goals against. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, at least Surrey Park have got weapons. Surrey Park have got a strong midfield, and they have got in their forward line with Parker Fox, Falahi,
Paul Colopy.
Exactly. They've got guys who are dangerous. I just think when we watch Chirnside, they do the discipline things well. They've got Ben Slattery and Josh Clavant, but Daniel Badome, he's of an age where you've got to be in incredible nick. I know James Anderson's 40 plus and taking wickets at Lords, but he's in different nick to Daniel Badome. So I think that's just the thing Chirnside have just struggled for all year. You look at goals. Like, they finished third with a percentage of 100. If we use percentage as the key indicator, there's only one team close to Sylvan, and it's Surrey.
Yeah, I mean, Surrey are clearly the second best team in my view, and I think, look, I'm just not sure they're going to be able to go with them for the whole game this time around on a ground like East Burwood. I think it might be a little bit beyond them, but I think it'll be a very interesting game to watch for those that are going out there this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Spider. And look, if Surrey Park win today, I'll finally be on.
Is that your extra time? Is that your extra time game, Spider?
Well,
nah.
Or are you saying tomorrow's one here?
I actually think the extra time game will be Bonturner South and Montrose.
Oh, well. Don't say that too loud because Tennant might climb through the window.
Tonsils Tennant.
Well, he knows that because he's played in a couple of close games.
Has he? Him or his old man?
His old man.
I was about to say, I don't know if Blake has played.
Long-term South and Montrose have had some unbelievable finals games over the years, and I think tomorrow will be no different.
Well, we can talk about that tomorrow.
Yep. Well, let's get on to Premier Division just quickly. Probably the big game in Premier Division is the Balwyn versus Roval game.
Not probably, Ryan. It's literally the only game that has anything
looking at
right
it now. But Ray's just texted in that a big out for Roval. Alex Frawley, so rolled an ankle. Not going to be there today, Matt, but they've been incredible, and it's a big chance for them if they knock off Balwyn. That's the second time they've beaten them.
We said on the podcast yesterday, so if Roval win today, they'll go into the finals having beaten Moorabark, who a lot of people have as the number one side twice, and both times in different fashions. So the first time they jumped them, and then the second time they came from behind. If they beat Balwyn today, and obviously the conditions actually look like they're going to be okay, so it might be a high-scoring open one. If they beat Balwyn today, they'll have beaten Balwyn 1 in a scrap and 2 in an open game in good conditions, away from both home and away. And then I think they beat South Croydon at South Croydon. They've beaten South Croydon twice. So the more and more I actually say things out loud, I keep thinking, geez, maybe they are the premiership favourites. But a little bit of me always thinks Balwyn's best is the best, and I've said it all year. So I have to go with Balwyn today. But if Roval do get the points today, you actually can't. It would become disrespectful.
Yep.
To continually have doubts over them, because, like I said, they'll go in having beaten everyone bar Doncaster East in the final series.
And they'll go as that number one seed, and they should, because they have been the best side throughout the whole of the season. They've been the most consistent side. You know, Noble Park have been thereabouts and probably have been so close. Balwyn have fluctuated a couple of times. But if look, as we've said, if we get on the big rounds at Bayswater, there's still the challenges there for Roval.
The only thing, and Spot, you know more about this, how many sides that have finished number one end up actually winning the Premier Division Grand Final? Even across all of them, I think, how often is the number one seed actually the thing you want?
Well, sometimes the pressure's always on. There's no question about it.
Because South Croydon, you look at that, so they got Norwood today, they'll probably win by 10 goals. I don't want to be disrespectful to Norwood, but South Croydon are going to smack them.
Well, let's think about it.
So South Croydon will go in on 7 straight wins. If South Croydon just want to keep playing, because they'll have to win 3 more games. They'll just keep on rolling, whereas Roval, it might break their momentum.
Balwyn had won those 3 grand finals.
They won them from about 4th and 5th, didn't they?
And they did not finish in the top 2.
Vermont won
any of those years.
Brashes down Eastby. Vermont won 07 or 08 or something like that, come from 5th. So it is one of those things where once you get on a roll, sometimes that's better than having the week off.
Yeah, you're right. And I think it comes down to, I can't see Doncaster East winning it. I think it's up to the 4, the Balwyn, Noble Park, Roval and South Croydon in the way they're going for the flag. But interesting game there today. Winner that will be certainly a high favourite for the flag.
If Roval win it, South Croydon will finish 3rd.
Yep,
Sorry.
Yes, you're all good. We're going to another break, and after the game, match of the round.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in, because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
You're listening to EFNL Game Day here, live on the SEN app, streaming around the globe on YouTube and Facebook, and simulcast on Radio Eastern 98.1, live from Walker Park here in Mitchum. It's round one of the 2022 Eastern Football Netball League Final Series. Can't believe it's here already. Divisions 1 through 4 in the finals this weekend, and we'll be bringing you all the action from across the Eastern Football Netball League from now until the Premier Division final on September 17th, just a month away. My name's Steve White. Thanks for joining us here from Walker Park, where it is an absolutely tantalising affair between Ringwood and East Burwood. Division 2 finals on the line. Qualifying final, the winner of this game will progress through to meet South Belgrave next week in the preliminary final, while the loser, well, it's not over yet. They'll get one more chance next week against the winner of the Basin and Baronia, who play tomorrow afternoon. Well, time now to introduce the rest of the call team that will be helping me through this afternoon's game and bringing you all the scores and all the action from across the Eastern Football Netball League as you go local for your footy this afternoon. Riding shotgun with me in the call chair this afternoon. It's a very good afternoon to Brett Best.
Afternoon, Steve. Yeah, great to be back at Walker Park. It seems like an age since we've been here, but it's always a great spot. And you know, when you get to Walker Park, you know it's final, so there's something a little bit special about it. But looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be an absolute cracker.
And looking forward to calling this one from the infamous bunker, aka the bomb shelter, or whatever we want to call it. We've got a bit of a yard sale going on in the background here as well. But
it's a very tight squeeze, isn't it, there?
Joining us on special, number one special comments man across the Eastern Football Netball League, I speak none other than Wayne Brasher. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Steve. Brett, well, listeners, great contest set down for discussion this afternoon. Not much between these two sides throughout the regular season. I'm not expecting anything different this afternoon, and I think it's going to go right down to the wire.
Absolutely. And on special as well this afternoon, it's a very good afternoon to Will Faulkner.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me. I think, as it's been said before, all looking forward to this game. Nice little crowd building in as well with the reserves game. Well, not the reserves game, but the game, just atmosphere just building up here, so looking forward to what's going to be a very, very good game with great conditions as well.
You get a park all right, mate?
Walked down probably 3 or 4 minutes down the road. I didn't know what it'd be like heading in here, so play the safe card now on the street.
Good boy.
So I was just getting a bit of a tune up there from Mr. Bruce Press, but anyway, look, both teams split the season series, a thrilling 4-point win to East Burwood in round 9, which was our match of the round back in round 9. Seems like an eternity ago. Where Ringwood getting the job done last weekend, although there were arguments made that maybe it was just a test run and both teams were only probably going 75-80%. Nonetheless, an absolutely cracking affair on effort. Let's break this one down and chew the fat a little bit. Beginning with yourself, Brett, what are we seeing coming into this game?
Look, both sides have got plenty of firepower up forward. I mean, you look at the likes of, you've got Agnew's kicked 25 for East Burwood, Mariani's got 23, Barlow and Young, multiple 39 and 43 respectively, but there's also plenty of firepower on the Ringwood side, 27 for Jackson, 18 for Callanan, but it's all one in the midfield, and you'd probably say maybe Ringwood have got a slight edge in the midfield, so I think it'll be close, but for me, I think Ringwood just to get up by maybe a kick or two.
Brash?
Yeah, Steve. Look, it's an interesting dynamic for both sides this afternoon. Ringwood are the experienced ones when it comes to finals performances in Div 2. Look, and for them, look, they really want to move out of this division this year. I think this is their gilt-edged opportunity this year for them to get out. However, I've got to say though, East Burwood have really come a long way in such a short time. And the thing is, they've got a... What I'm liking with them this year is there seems to be a really good mix of experience and young players starting to run through that side. I'm just wondering whether they've just plateaued with their form in the last couple of weeks and whether their legs today are going to, carry them through. But it's not a big ground. But the way that both sides like to play attacking football, it could actually turn out to be a crapshoot.
Yeah, well, I read an interesting statistic that I think Ringwood only conceded 843 points the entire year. I think that's the lowest across all 4 or 5 divisions.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So, offensive team, defensive team, Will?
Yeah, look, I'm leaning towards Ringwood today. But as Besto touched on, East Burwood's firepower up forward is probably where they've got their strength. And then, as you said as well, Ringwood's midfield. It's going to be a very, very good battle. I think defenders are going to have to be right on their toes today for Ringwood. But I think it's going to be a close contest. Ringwood probably been a little bit more dominant on the scoreboard, effective, as you touched on as well. But yeah, looking forward to it. I've got Ringwood just, I think.
Yeah. The other thing too, no disrespect to Stuart Wine. I mean, a fantastic player as he was.
Yep.
And he's done really well in the coach's box. But Brett Rowe he's a seasoned campaigner, isn't he? And that can often, the guy in the coach's box can often make a huge difference when you get to finals.
Well, that might actually decide it, because in terms of my 2 cent analysis, I really can't split them too much. I mean, I tipped Ringwood at the start of the year to take the flag. I mean, I talked about, I think, the last game with 2019 final still, rings in their mind, that last kick of the game against Mitchum. A couple of omissions we should also mention. Max Wills is not dressed for East Burwood. He is out, so that's a big out.
That's a big loss, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
massive loss.
Very clutch player for East Burwood. And Lockie Stewart will not be dressed for Ringwood this afternoon. So there are a couple of the omissions, barring any last minute before they run on the ground omissions. So looking forward to this. I mean, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but obviously the winner meets South Belgrave next week. Who do we think's better placed to take on South Belgrave, Brad?
Look, I think Ringwood are the side that are better off to take on South Belgrave. I know East Burwood put up a very spirited game against them at East Burwood in the game that we saw them in round 17.
Yep.
However, I just felt that South Belgrave just seemed to have the answers when they needed them.
Yep.
And they were able to respond when East Burwood just threw everything at them.
Yep.
I think Ringwood, on a neutral ground, I think their experience would be more than ample to take on South Belgrave.
Yep. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Yeah, I pretty much concur. I think, I no disrespects, but I think South Belgrave, I couldn't see East Burwood rolling South Belgrave, but I could see Ringwood. I think they'd probably just across the park look a little stronger, and I think they'd give them a better game. But hey, as I said before, it's finals, and once we get to finals, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's a very important point. Finals brings out the best in teams and the worst in teams. Be interesting. This will be obviously our first look at it this season. How they're going to compare up with it on the big stage. I just want to ask Steve, is there anything you've seen change? Obviously, you tipped Ringwood at the start of the year to take the flag. Have you seen any changes that sort of has you second guessing now? How far they can go and if they can take that flag.
Not really. I think, the additions of like Sam Wadley, Mitch Jackson's having a fantastic year for them. I like the way, Callan's been in and out of the team with injuries, and James Parker as well has had a great year. I'm still on him. I'm still going to stick through him. I think, but it's South Belgrave and Ringwood, in my view, in the final. But I can't pick that one too. But I would give the tip to South Belgrave if they meet Ringwood. But I think I'm still on Ringwood for mine, if that makes sense. But no, in terms of answering your question, I haven't sort of wavered from that. I think they've actually played really, really well.
They must have a pretty good side that Jack Blythe can't get in, because he's a pretty handy. I was asking, I forget who I asked beforehand, and I said, is he injured? And apparently he's not. So he can't even get on the side. So he's a pretty handy player. So as I say, they've obviously got a very settled and a very good side.
Well, Ringwood have only used 34 players this year.
Wow.
And they've averaged, and it's been roughly 12 players or 12 games. Whereas East Burwood have used 45, averaged 9. So they've had East Burwood have had a lot of changes throughout the season.
It can also be a reflection of injury, though. It's not necessarily just a form thing, is it?
Because sometimes, and the other thing is too, just taking it into consideration is sometimes when the results are being put in, that actually don't take out the players that didn't play.
Okay.
So that sort of skews the thing. So I think Steve made a very valid point. I just feel that with Ringwood, I just feel that they're just a little bit more. They're a lot more equipped. I think they've just got. It's the experienced players I keep coming back to that have proven themselves in the finals. And that's why I want to see how East Burwood, because they're going to have to go up a notch. We all know that the finals is different, and Ringwood know how to go up a notch. We don't know about East Burwood yet.
And well, East Burwood may have used 45 players. They certainly used 245 different jumper numbers this season, giving us
They're the worst for it too.
all hell in the commentary box. But look, the umpires are out on the ground warming up, as are our Ringwood now. So what we'll do is we'll take a short break here on EFNL Game Day, and on the other side we'll be back with the first quarter right after this.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
And welcome back to EFNL Game Day, wherever you're listening on the SEN app, streaming around the globe on YouTube, Facebook and on Radio Eastern 98.1. You might hear in the background the East Burwood Football Club theme. They are out on the ground, as are Ringwood and the umpires. So we're about 5 to 8 minutes away from the start of play this afternoon. Looking at the other side of the equation in Division 2, gents, shortly, obviously the Basin and Boronia play tomorrow in the elimination final. Loser is out. The winner plays the loser of this match this afternoon. What are we thinking in terms of that game, Brett?
You know, the funny thing is, though, the Basin have probably hit form at the right time that you want to if you're timing your run into a final series.
Exactly.
But why do I still have this impression that they're still a little flaky? Because they've had their 3 wins in a row. They must be overdue to lose again. But then I look at Baronia, and without Mitch Mallis, who's a massive loss, and young Zach Brasher, who got injured halfway through the season with a shoulder, they've lost their momentum. And as I spoke to Matty Clark before, and he said, basically, when Taylor Leggett is the go-to man, right? And he's the one that can carry them and put him on his shoulders and show him how it's done. But he needs a few more. And I just feel that Baronia's... I'm worried about Baronia's goal-kicking capacity and scores over the last 2 or 3 rounds have really dried up, whereas the Basin's has increased.
Yep.
And that's probably why I'm giving Basin, because I just think that their form leading into this game tomorrow is just a little better than Baronia's.
Always so important.
Mind you, having said that, Baroni are pretty good defensively, so the goal kicking, if they can keep the Basin big boys quiet.
Well, Jaden Collins comes back into the side tomorrow, which is a major plus for them. Besson Ferris, centre half back for them, so he'll certainly provide the run and the penetration of kick that's going to be required. I'm still worried about. I just think that the Basin seem to have a few more options around the goal face at the moment, and I think that might be enough tomorrow, gentlemen, to get them over the line.
Yeah, just playing hypotheticals. Can any of us see them causing some damage towards the back end of the finals and sort of making it tough for the teams that have earned that second chance?
The Basin?
Yeah, Basin or Baronia, yep.
To be honest,
not really.
I think, as far as I'm concerned, I think the first semi is about as far as I think that the Basin can go this year. I just think that the other 3 sides above them are a little bit more polished.
I'll sort of play devil's advocate. If I was to pick one, I would say Baronia, purely on the experience of Matty Clark and coaching in finals.
Okay.
Whether they have the personnel on the field to execute that's a different story. But if I was to pick one to be a complete spoiler, it would be Baronia. Also, that draw against Knox might fire them up. So because they should not have got to that stage as we were discussing last week.
The way that game played out last week, it's almost like that it might be the game that shake them out of their lethargy, because they had to dig deep in that last quarter and a half to even get the draw. So if they can find some inspiration from that, then they're right in it again tomorrow.
Well, I was going to cross boundary side to our boundary riders, Josh Ward and Ryan Long, but Bruce Pester's decided to step out of the office, so I'll just hold off.
As he does
he's
at the
back.
most inopportune
He's
time.
back, so we're going to take the opportunity now, after Bruce has finished, just to quickly cross boundary side to Ryan Long, Josh Ward. Gentlemen, your quick tips and thoughts.
Yeah, down here, boundary side, absolutely beautiful day down here. I was worried this morning. There was predicted to be rain, but it's a picture-perfect day. I said on the weekend forecast yesterday I'd be backing East Burwood, and I'm still backing East Burwood. A couple of late changes. Ryan will go through them as well.
Yeah, big one. Max Wills out for East Burwood, and real big loss for the Rams there, and Lachlan Stewart coming in. Lachlan Stewart out for Ringwood. So a couple of losses there from both sides. I just think Ringwood's been class all season. Can't not back him, to be honest. And without Wills down back, it was massive the last time they played. I'm going to have to tip the Red.
Thanks, guys. To bring us in, Brett Bested.
So here we go. The finals have arrived. It's exciting times as the umpire sends the ball aloft. Finally comes down, knocked away there by Latchford into the clinches. Mariani was there, but they get it forward. And it's hacked away towards the far side of the ground. Who's going to get there first? Hell, it was who won the race. And it's out of bounds on that far side of the ground. So picture-perfect conditions at the moment. I believe the weatherman was forecasting a little bit of precipitation at some stage today, but let's hope that doesn't come to fruition. Umpire sends it back into play. Latchford tries to get there, but it's the big man, Hanlon, who gets the front spot, knocks it down. Looks like we'll have another ball up. Zach Hanlon, the ruck duel is going to be an absolute beauty today with the big men handling against the likes of Jordanov and the big men from Ringwood. And it goes again over on the far side, wrapped up over there well and truly. And the ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in.
So just under a minute, as we should mention, Ringwood kicking to your right of screen. They won the toss. Hanlon gets the fist over the top, and that's just going to go straight out of bounds and out for a boundary throw-in. We'll keep you also updated on the scores this afternoon from across the league. The Montrose man, Blake Tennant, who I believe had some feedback during the week about his call last week. He'll be crossing to him sporadically during as we get the hit out now. Latchford trying to get it out. Went looking for it there, did Mariani for East Burwood. Players converge. Good tackle applied there by Wadley for Ringwood. It's really a tight contest of inches there over on the far centre wing area. We'll have a ball up dead on centre wing, just hugging the boundary, back into the ruck now. Hanlon wins the tap. Latchford, Hanlon dragged it right back in, put the right boot onto it. Dribbling kick now in towards the edge of the centre square. Applying the pressure there are the Rams, but the Ringwood Footy Club get this kick out towards the centre of the ground. It comes right back, though, towards the half-forward line. Grabbing it now here is Spiteri. Went for a hand out to the big man, Hanlon. Kicks it in towards the forward 50. Players converge. Under it there was Agnew. Couldn't drag it in there for the Rams. It falls loose. Ringwood try to move it out now here through May. Ball on the deck. Mariani got a hand pass out now. Here's a kick into over the top. Looking for it as Anjemi. Just only get a hand to it and rush it through for a minor score. That's the first score of the game, and it goes to the Rams. The Rams won. And Ringwood yet to score. We played 2 minutes, Wayne Brasher.
It's going to be a game of bounces because at one stage Ringwood were going to have the advantage and get the forward 50. The ball bounced the other way. And then East Burwood got a disposal and then it went the other way again. So you're just going to be, even though you're going to attack the ball might not come to you.
So Tim Jones with the kick in, finds a target. It was a little bit of a risky kick, but he managed to hit May over there on the far side. So they're just chipping it around the half-back line at the moment. Good crowd in for this one. As they go back infield, so it's just a little bit of just finding their feet at the moment. Right across, that's very close to being out of bounds on the full. What does the umpire say? No, he's paid the mark. So Murfitt, hard up against the boundary line. They're having trouble getting it out. East Burwood pressing up, making it really tough. You can see Agnew there, hands aloft, high kick, going down to about half back. Up they fly, getting the front spot there was Cairns, couldn't quite take it on the ground, and that'll be wrapped up. And we'll have a ball up just outside 50. So very tight contest as you'd expect. Being a final, so much at stake. Not a knockout final, but still plenty on the line as the tap comes from Hanlon. Ball goes on the ground, diving in there. Was it Mariani, I think, trying to get his hands on it. Couldn't do so. They work it forward, though. Mark almost taken there. It's on the ground. They've made a good start, East Burwood. They're putting a lot of pressure on. And Ringwood with some early defending to do.
You can definitely tell it's finals at the moment. High pressure, not a lot of room for any players from either team.
Spot on, Will, absolutely. As the umpire throws it aloft.
Hanlon now gets the punch on it, punched back the other way, searching for it. There was Barlow, turns around, puts it onto the left. It's going to go wide, though, and that's going to be out of bounds. Took a bounce before it went over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in far pocket, just in front of the scoreboard. So boundary throw in. Now we're just waiting for the ritual of suburban football for the ball to come back from the over the fence.
All we need is a dog to run away with the ball, and then eventually just...
Well, we've still got 3.5 quarters, so don't hold your breath. In comes the boundary throw. Hanlon v Latchford in the ruck. Hanlon gets the big fist on it, looking over the top. They're trying to drag it down. They put it to the left. It's touched off the boot, though. Went actually through the sticks. I didn't see that. I think it might have been...
33.
I think it was Barlow, yeah, that got the foot on it. But just again, a minor score. The hand being the difference between 1 point and 6. As East Burwood 2 points, Ringwood yet to score.
So Jones brings it back in. So almost an early opportunity marked there by Wadley. Just taking his time looking to get it out. As we said, it's pretty tight trying to get it out of the defence at the moment. Long kick out wide. Mark juggled over there, not quite taken. Close to the boundary line. And it's on the ground. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, they should have taken that, Mark. That wasn't an easy grab. That was a pretty easy grab to put down.
Well, no excuses today because conditions are absolutely superb as Jackson was flung out of the way there. Probably had a case for a free kick, but the umpire said no, I'll let it go, and the umpire to throw it in again. So just the two behinds on the scoreboard at the moment. East Burwood in front. Early stages of this first quarter, up it goes. There's the knockdown from Hanlon, comes out, and it's on the ground again, and that'll be another ball up, I'd say, or free kick perhaps.
If both sides will break 50-50 inside, it's going to come down to who's got the best outside run of these two sides this afternoon.
So Hanlon wins another hit out. Mariani goes in there, tries to get it, but they're getting the ball on the ground, East Burwood. You can see them winning a lot of the ground contests, which is something that obviously is a big part of the game.
Completely agree with that, Brash. I think space is going to be very, very hard to come by.
Let's cross boundary side quickly.
We've got a couple of key matchups down forward for East Burwood. Braden Barlow has got Tim Jones on him. And Marcus Young, their leading goal kicker, has Jacob May on him, so keep an eye on those matchups.
Thanks, Josh, as the kick comes in towards the 50. Cairns in pursuit, takes it on the bounce. Got a big kick, he gets wrapped up, dispossessed. What a tackle there. That was, I think that was...
Agnew,
yeah, Connor Agnew running in there and allying the tackle, and that's the kind of pressure we were talking about. There is absolutely no time and space, and as clean as a whistle, great tackle. And Connor Agnew's going to line up from about 35, directly in front almost. And this for potentially the first major of the afternoon for East Burwood.
You can already tell in the opening 7 minutes that this is a different game of football than what we were watching last Saturday, pressure-wise.
So Agnew puts it onto the right boot, and it's just to the left. And another minor score for the Rams. So they move to 3 behinds. Ringwood yet to score. We played 6.5 minutes on the Bendigo Bank score, but let's go to Blake Tennant at the score centre.
Yeah, g'day guys. Just got a score update in the Division 3 final between Waverley Blues and Warrandyte. Waverley Blues have just hit the front. 1 straight 6 to Warrandyte yet to score.
So like a game of soccer at the moment, it's 3-0. It's East Burwood still looking for our first goal, but it's been a cracking contest so far as the ball goes forward. Mark taken there by Lang. Intercept Mark, so Ringwood, should I say, just to bring it out. But you can see they're just looking down the ground and there's nothing there because both sides are marking up so well. Finally decides to just shovel a little handball out. Not a great one to...
That's terrible.
That's a shocking handball. That was a hospital pass.
Oh, no.
If ever I saw one, and then a shot at goal, which is off target. So...
That was Barlow again.
Comedy of errors. Barlow misses for the second time in the hands of Jones to bring it out. As we go to... Paul on the score, the stats centre, sorry.
Yeah, well, East Burwood have been dominating the play early. They've been dominating the ground ball, and going forward, they've already had 4 inside 50s to nothing, but no goals as of yet.
Thanks, Paul. As that one rushed out of bounds on the far side of the ground, half forward flank area here for the Rams. They've done the majority of the attacking this term. I don't think the ball has gone in the inside 50 at all for Ringwood, or even that half of the ground. So as the players converge, Mariani did well to keep it on board, get a hand pass out. The umpire said no, and no reward for effort. We'll get a boundary throw in, dead on centre wing, far side of the ground. As Hanlon and Latchford continue their rucking duel. I'm going to give the edge to Hanlon so far. He has the front spot on this one, just the 2-hand tap. Jackson couldn't take it cleanly. Going in hard there was his opposite number, Ronan Oppie, and he's going to be penalised high, according to the umpire. And Mitch Jackson, no, it's going to go not to Mitch Jackson. Yes, it is. Sorry, just 2 leg tattoos on the other gens. I couldn't see. There's that quick kick, uncontested mark. And Reese Burwood looking to stream back forward down the ground. Here comes the kick now in towards the half-forward line. Sitting under it, had the front spot. Good jukes from Tim Jones, taking that in front of Angemi. And he expects to play on quickly, dangerously though. He's kicked now in towards the forward line. Couldn't take the mark there. Looking for it was Pilker. Picked up now here by Reddy. His kick out towards the flank and taken there by Ronan Oppie. Brilliantly going back with the flight. Plays on quickly, puts it onto the right boot. 6-player contest, and Jemmy has the front spot over the top. They couldn't take it. Reddy's hand pass out now, looking for Agnew in the yellow boots. Kicked it in towards the forward line. Oh, this might bounce over the edge. Goal from Agnew! First major of the afternoon from East Burwood. He had a behind before. He's got a goal now. East Burwood 1-4-10. Ringwood yet to score. Let's quickly go to Blake Tennant in the score centre.
Yeah, good to our previous scores. Got Bulwer 1-1-7 and Roeville yet to score. Berwick 3-1-19 to North Ringwood 1 behind. So interesting scores coming up there.
Thanks, Blake.
That outside run there we were talking about was the catalyst for that goal again. East Burwood have got it in spades early on in this game.
Certainly have. Off to a very good start. Ringwood may be a little bit shell-shocked at the moment, but our tips are looking a little bit shaky, but it's early days. 9-zip as the umpire sends the ball aloft, knocked out there by Latchford. Down to the ground, that'll be tied up and we'll have a secondary ball up. I tell you one bloke who hasn't got into the game at all so far, Brash, is Collier. He's a very important player for Ringwood, but we haven't seen him at the moment. Latchford, another tap. Ball comes out. Now they get it forward now, Ringwood. Can they get someone on the end of this? Wrestling in there, and the mark is taken. Yep, great mark over there. Taken by Brereton. Yep. Mitch Brereton, of course. He's seems to have been at Ringwood for ages. He probably has. I'm not quite sure how many years it's been. But
he's been there a while.
But he's a stalwart of the club, that's for sure. Is that their first inside 50?
Yeah. It is.
Shooting for probably goal. The second, I'd say.
Second, all right. So Brereton, this will give a spark to Ringwood because they've been behind. He's got it, beautiful kick. So Mitch Brereton puts it through and Ringwood hit back. So after all the early dominance, they're only 3 points behind Ringwood on the scoreboard. It's the Bendigo Bank scoreboard and they trail 139 to 1 goal.
Well, at least both these sides can score more freely than Manchester United can, but that's a story for another sport.
Well, it depends if Elon Musk buys them, mate. All right. No, I don't own a Tesla, so as the pre-game discussion was alluding to. Anyway, ball back in the centre, 11 minutes played here. 1-3-9 leads 1 straight 6. East Burwood with a 3-point lead here in this qualifying final now as Latchford. Hanlon wins the tap. Maurice went looking for it off the pack. He is absolutely smothered there by Mitch Jackson. That midfield battle is going to be a focal point as the game progresses. As they're trying to take that was Neat now back into the ruck. Giving Hanlon a spell. It's tapped forward and back, and a good hands out now here finds Zach Callanan. Callanan with a burst of speed onto the right boot. It might go all the way. It might. Oh, it won't. It just bounced off the backside. Brereton, snap around the body. Oh, he's kicked 2. Mitch Brereton, 2 kicks, 2 goals, and Ringwood have 2 straight 12. They lead East Burwood 1-4-10. That's a contender for the Tobin brothers' goal of the day.
That is a massive, massive, massive flip in the last 2 minutes. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Great start from Ringwood as we jump to Paul Uconi in the Stat Centre.
They're getting back in the game here through the clearances. Ringwood, they're leading that area. They've had the last 3 inside 50s and they've kicked 2 goals from it. So, a bit against the play, but they're really taking their chances, which East Burwood with their inside 50s have been a little bit inaccurate early. The tackles, they've both brought the pressure, 3 apiece.
Thanks, Paul. So it's a funny old game, footy. As someone once said, that's a high tackle on, not Callanan, it's number 13, Broad.
Yep.
Ringwood, they were outplayed in the first few minutes, but they've suddenly hit their straps, almost like they've forgotten to come out, but they're out now as the kick goes inside. That's a push, is it? No, the umpire says play on. Well done there by Hammond. Gets it across the other side of the grounds. And they can just bring it out now, East Burwood. Cracking start to this one, though, as the ball goes down the line. Mark nicely taken over there by Young. So Young goes up the line. And Mark, well, over the top it goes. There, the heads of Agnew. Agnew's got 1 to his name already. Going back there was it's Cairns. Now the ball goes back up the line to around about the centre of the grounds. Up they fly. Ball goes onto the ground. Falls for Wadley. Wadley gets it forward. And that'll be as we get under the boundary.
Yeah, they've already made a change on Brereton down forward. It's now Jenkins playing on him. So you would have expected Wills to be there if he was playing, but Jenkins got the job on him now.
So boundary throw in far side of the ground, centre wing area, 13 minutes gone, 12-9 in favour of the Redbacks. In comes the boundary throw, a little short. Neat got a tap onto it, looking for a teammate there in Jason Kennedy, dragged to the ground. And that's going to go back out of bounds for another boundary throw in.
Just a little quick point as well. The last 3 centre clearances have all gone Ringwood's way. We were talking about earlier in the before the pre-game about how their strength's probably in the midfield a little bit more, and we've seen East Burwood start really well up forward. 3 centre clearances is really not bad.
Neat gets the tap then. As the ball going nowhere. Strong tackle there from Wadley and Collier. And we're going to have, I think we're going to have a free kick, it looks like. Yeah, it's going the way of Collier, maybe for holding the ball. No, didn't try to dispose of it. Didn't see what else it could have been for. Anyway, Collier plays on, puts it onto the right, Bruton towards the forward line. Looking for the sprint there of Brereton. And didn't see what happened there. Okay, it was chopped off. Stamatopoulos took the mark there. Callanan tried to affect the smother. Here's the kick back out towards centre wing. It evades all players. Going looking for it there was Young. It comes back out now. Latchford trying to handball out to Burmeister. He's strongly tackled there by Young, and that's going to go back into the hands of the umpire for a ball up. Let's go to Blake Tennant, the score centre.
Yeah, got some Division 4 scores. Our man Joshy will be very excited about this one. Sylvan 1-8 to Surrey Park 2-13.
So we like to hear.
Yeah.
Montrose yet to play.
So umpire sends it aloft. Nice set out there by we're towards the boundary line, but in fact it's too far and it's going to go out of bounds as Wadley chased it.
I actually think, having a look at this ground, some parts of the ground are a little bit lush and the players are finding it hard to keep their feet, and then they're running into places where it's really dry and they're just not getting the grip.
Yep, fair point, Brace, as the ball goes in. One there by East Burwood as the ball is on the ground once again. Now it comes out. Got a chance to go inside 50. Wrestling it there was Jackson. Jackson still in the contest. He's kicked 27 goals this year. So he knows where the big sticks are, but we're going to get a ball up for the meantime.
Particularly in each 50, Brash just going on that. We've seen a few people lose their footing at crucial times.
So Hanlon unopposed that time as the ball goes back inside 50, but it's going to beat everyone and go out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Just in front of the faithful over there, just in front of the scoreboard. So we've had 15 minutes of this first term, not a high-scoring term, but it's been very, very interesting. As the ball goes in again, up they fly. One out of there by Lang. He got to the front spot, and that's going to be a free kick to Ringwood, is it?
Ball up,
no, ball
like,
up.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Mariani on the bottom of that. Hasn't really got into the game as yet, Mariani, but plenty of time. Up it goes over the head. On the ground again, diving desperately on the ground, but the ball is still there in the contest. Trying to beat it out there. Mariani was there, but he couldn't quite get to it as the ball is hooked across the face. Here's a chance as they... Is that a free kick? No, the umpire says play on, and it's been knocked through for a rush behind. So, desperate defence there, but they managed to survive. And one more to the score. It's Ringwood ahead 2 straight. It's a 1-4-10 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Another good match-up this afternoon. Collier and Kempson are lining up on each other. It's going to be a ripping contest as well.
Here's the kick over the top. Couldn't drag it in there, could Jordanov. It's quick tackle there applied as Pilker not penalised there, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in right in front of us here. Half-forward attacking area now here for the Rams. Hanlon back into the ruck after a short spell out of it. Latchford now going... Latchford won that one, trying to run onto the footy there. They go in hard. Mariani might pick up a loose footy. Brilliant smother there by Wadley as Mariani tried to get his kick away, and that's going to elude all comers over the boundary line for another boundary throw in.
Well done by Wadley there, saved an inside 50 there.
Let's go to Blake Tennant quickly in the score centre.
Yeah, just got premier scores between Norwood and South Corin. Got Norwood 2-1-13 to South Corin 1-8.
Thanks, Blake, as Hanlon wins the tap again. Maurice went looking for it, as did Wadley. And we got a free kick as Hanlon, well, 70, might be number 70, but probably about 170 kilos there if it was coming down on that play as Murphy. There was the recipient of it in the back. Goes short to Latchford, gets a return handball. Got to be quick as Murphy puts the kick away.
Oh, that's luck.
Great.
That was lucky.
Nothing but.
Great mark under pressure regardless by Steve Brown, but his kick was a bit lacking as that's going to go over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Let's go to Paul Uconi in the stats centre.
Yeah, well, East Burwood have got back on track in the clearances. They lead that 3-2. The tackles, Ringwood lead that 4-3. But looking at the overall statistics, there's not a lot separating these two sides. It's a very even game so far.
So, huge hip and shoulder over there as the ball goes out of bounds. It was Kempson who copped it. I don't know if it's just me, boys, but the game seems to just be that shade quicker. There's been a couple of times when a player's got the ball and they've thought they've had a bit more time than they've had and have gotten shut down. You can see it's finals. That intensity's just lifted, hasn't it?
Yeah, the physicality is lifted as well, Brett. I agree.
Absolutely. So the ball goes in and knocked forward into the centre of the ground. Chasing it there, trying to get his hands on it was May. Couldn't do so. Ball gets lost. And they're trying to get it was Young, and the umpire's whistle has gone.
Just watching Ringwood there, they seem to want to be attacking to that far half forward, Frank. I'm sort of wondering, why can't they just stay direct down the ground? It makes more sense.
It does, Bresh, but often sides tend to go towards the flanks rather than down the
go.
corridor. Here's a chance. This should be a goal. Easy goal for Lang. Agnew, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side. And Agnew puts it through for his second. So East Burwood, they strike again. And they get their noses back in front. 16 plays, 2-4-16 plays, 2 straight on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And we're coming up to 19 played in this first term.
Well, that was a good piece of play there by East Burwood. They forced the turnover on a poor inside 50 entry for Ringwood. Paul.
Yeah, well, East Burwood have got back on. They're starting to blow out the inside 50 count. They've had the last 4 inside 50s, so they lead that 7-4.
So 2 goal kickers in this one. Agnew and Brereton have 2 apiece, and it's 2 straight 12, trailing 2-4-16 and 2 for 22. As Ringwood had to throw that one in there. As the ball, we're waiting for there's a stoppage, I think, behind the play. Or are we waiting for the footy to go? Oh,
sounds shocked.
Again, let's quickly go down on the boundary side, Josh Ward.
Yeah, we're waiting for the footy because it went right over the top of the netting towards the northern end of the ground. So we could be waiting here for maybe half an hour.
All right, I believe it's Knightsbridge Retirement Village sitting back there, so I don't think anyone's going to be awake to pick it up.
Or sprinting either.
yeah, exactly right.
I'll tell you what, some of those Zimmer frames can move quite quickly.
Oh, unbelievable.
And how do you know that?
Touche.
I saw it parked out the front there. Oh dear, we're only 1 quarter into the finals, and it's all going to hell already. But We might, if Blake's got some scores in the meantime, we might catch some from across the league. Don't forget Divisions 1 through 4, finals time. Premier Division last round of the regular season.
And here comes, it's a newbie.
Oh, we've got a new footy. All right, so yeah.
Oh, the new ball's been taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're continuing the theme. It's not quite summer yet, but only a few weeks.
We'll get Matt Footy to shine it up.
Well, they might have to adjust. They might have to adjust the side screen down the back here to stop the ball going over. But anyway, we're back to proceedings. 21 minutes played. We're into time on here in this first term. 4 points the margin in favour of the Rams. Hanlon into the ruck, didn't win that one. As going searching for it with one hand there was Kennedy, and umpire says give it back to me. And we'll have a ball up just north of the previous one. So Hanlon looks like Cairns into the ruck now at the moment, giving Latchford a bit of a spell. Maurice tried to drag that in with one hand, did well to get the footy out. So went looking for it there, did Cairns off his own hit out. Real pack of players. Mariani went looking for it as well. Trying to lay the tackle there was Hammond. The ball pops up loose. No one can get a clean touch. It just spills out now here towards the edge of the centre square. Mariani dives in again, manages finally to get a hand pass out, and we've got a kick right back into the centre of the ground. The Rams looking to stream forward here. This is better link-up play. Here's the kick from Reddy in towards full forward. And Agnew couldn't take the mark. Again, it's picked up now here. Looking there for it was Spiteri, and he lays a tackle there on Cairns, and will have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, East Burwood's outside run is really starting to worry Ringwood here.
So, 22 minutes played. Here comes the boundary throw now. 1-on-1. Couldn't win it there, could Kempson. Dragged in one-handed by Murphy. Did well. Tried to hand it off now here to Lang. Too much traffic in front of him, and he lays a tackle in return. And we'll have a ball up about 20 metres out, slight angle, directly in front of the East Burwood goal. 4 points the margin. Sorry, it's 5 points the margin, excuse me. 2-5-17 leads 2 straight 12 there on the scoreboard. Kempson went for the ruck contest. Went crushing through the pack, did Cairns. And we'll have another ball up.
One big difference I've seen here is East Burwood are working extremely a little bit harder to hold that ball inside their 50.
And so doing a lot of things well, East Burwood, as Maurice is taken to the ground in a big tackle. Umpire says give it to me. 22 minutes played, so getting close to the end of the first quarter. Up they fly. Hanlon just stands. He didn't even have to jump, just batted it out like he's playing volleyball. Ball bouncing around, going across there. Good pick up by Brown. We had it for a moment, then lost it in a big tackle on Oppie over there. And what's the umpire say? We'll just have a ball up.
With the exception of probably a 2-3 minute period in the first quarter, I think it's really sounds quite strange to see East Burwood only up by 5 points, 4 or 5 points.
Yep, absolutely. They have dominated the last few minutes, that's for sure. Ringwood in the game early, but not so much now. So Brett Rowe with some work to do as we go to Blake Tennant.
Yeah, we've got some other Division 3 scores. Got Waverley Blues 2-2-14 and Warrandyte 1-1-7. So big start there in their third division final.
So we'll keep you up to date with all the scores from around the grounds as Collier, I think it is, going across the ground. Gets a long kick out towards the wing.
Oh, well taken.
Here's a chance. Nice work there by Hill it was. He spun out of a tackle. Now he goes inside 50, but can he hit a target? It's a one-on-one contest. Beautifully done. Robertson it was who took it, but no mark not paid as the ball goes inside. And that's it's been paid. Mark has been paid right out in front. So Ringwood are going to pinch a late one here, you would think.
That was all class there by Brereton. Oh, that was a magnificent piece of judgment there.
Brereton it was, sorry. I called him Robertson for some strange reason.
I'm going to keep calling him Gramey.
Gramey LeBroy.
Yeah, so Jackson.
I'd be going to the inside of the left goal post here.
So 27 goals for this season, and that's number 28. As it goes through, so Ringwood have pinched the lead just going into the break. We're coming up to 25 minutes play and they jump ahead by 2 points, 3 straight, plays 2-4-16 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Let's go to Paulie Coney in the Stats Centre.
Yeah, well, Ringwood have done well in this first quarter, given their kicking against the Breeze. They've only had 5 inside 50s in this first quarter, but they've kicked the 3 goals from it, and the tackling pressure from both sides has been immense. 5 tackles apiece.
So into the restart, Hanlon v Latchford. The original matchup. Collier goes looking for a loose footy, gets a hand pass out. Ringwood kicked this one back in towards the centre of the ground. An awkward bounce, trying to get the tap there for it was Hill. Couldn't tap it across. Picked up beautifully there by Stamatopoulos there for the Rams. Here's a one-on-one contest. Winning that was Brown. His fist looking for Collier. That's held without there was Collier. He's won himself a free kick. And he plays on quickly, puts it onto the right. Short stabbing pass there, finds the goal scorer from a minute ago. Mitch Jackson puts it onto the right himself, in towards the forward line, but it's all Rams. And they settle this one down now here through Eddie Rixton. Puts this onto the left now, onto the far side of the ground. Target there is ready. Couldn't take the mark. Cairns went searching for it. Did well. Cairns fends off a tackle. Dropped it. Lucky to get away with that one. Hand pass over the top. Here comes Parker. Goes looking for a teammate there. Couldn't get it through there to Stelfox. Dragged to the ground in a strong tackle was De Silva. And we'll have a ball up. Let's go quickly to Blake Tennant.
Yeah, got some Division 4 scores between Surrey Park and Silver. Got Silver 1-2-8 to Surrey Park 4-2-26. So big score coming out there, that's for sure.
So 1 point the margin out here at Walker Park in favour of the Redbacks. Here's the tap now. And it's going to go straight back out over the boundary line. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Chris Pateri there wearing something looking like out of Eyes Wide Shut.
Batman operator.
So I was going to say, or Catwoman, or probably close, so there's no ears. Anyway, he's not going to like that comparison. Anyway, swatted out. I'll check my car after the game. Here's Jackson now going for the ball. Had to head over it. That's Maurice on his hammer, and the man we're just talking about, Spiteri. And
for our younger listeners, please don't watch Eyes Wide Shut. We're not advocating
we're
that.
not advocating that. Absolutely not. Not one of Tom Cruise's best movies either. But anyway, Brett.
Better than Vanilla Sky.
Take your word for it, Brace. Didn't see that one as the ball goes out. Now it's Ringwood. Can they get another one just going into the break? Jackson, I think it was, gets his kick smothered. And they'll get it back, and it's going to be wrapped up on the ground. No, Rob Berriton got a handball out, and the umpire's whistle has gone. So 27 gone in this first term. It's been really interesting. And it's a 1 point game. 18 plays 17. Typical finals footy. Up it goes. There's the head out coming over the top nicely was Hill. Got the head out, but we'll have a secondary ball up. As it's taken there by Callanan on the bottom of that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's go to Paul in the Stats Centre.
I just wanted to point out that in both the reserves and under-19s games, that the team that is capitalised, that has kicked goals to the scoring end has come from behind to win. So it's really important for both these teams to capitalise with the wind when they have when they are kicking to the scoring end.
Okay, balls on the boundary might be able to tell us just how strong that wind is, because it doesn't seem too bad, but obviously it's having a bit of an impact as the ball goes inside 50. Mark is taken, beautifully done.
Stamatopoulos.
It's Stamatopoulos over there. Just looking around for some options. It's taken absolute age to get rid of it. He's still taking an age, but finally gets it down the line. Long kick forward. Who can get on the end of it? Coming over the top there was Cairns. Knocks it away. Burmester there too. As we go boundary side.
Yeah, wind not too bad. It's definitely going to the left-hand side of the screen, but still, it's not that much of an advantage at the moment.
Thanks, Ryan.
So 28 and a half gone. We approach the first quarter siren shortly, I'm sure. Here's Latchford and Hanlon again in the ruck. The boundary throw was a little short, and that goes straight back over the boundary. We'll have take number 2 in front of the East Burwood. I think that's the Resis or the 19s. I'm not sure. It's over there, but we're out there here to support the troops. 1 point the margin between the Rams and Redbacks. In comes the boundary throw. Hanlon wins the tap, looking for Maurice. Collier went diving in there. He goes looking for the footy as a strong tackle applied by Collier there on, but that's De Silva, and goes back into the umpire's hands. Let's go to Blake Tennant.
Yeah, got some premier scores. Got Boa 1-6-12 to Roeville 2-2-14. I've got Berwick 4-3-27 to North Ringwood 3 behind. So that's all premier scores that we speak.
Thanks, Blake. Boundary throw again. Hanlon wins the tap. Maurice goes searching for it. Finally gets it on the second or third bounce. Throws a hand pass to De Silva. His right foot kick in towards the direction there, I think, of Kempson. A one-on-one contest. Players can't get it. That was Young actually looking, searching for the footy. Good, strong tackle at the centre of the ground. Has been paid. Reward for effort. Strong tackle there by Jack Murfitt. And he's going to go and take the ball just inside the edge of the centre square. And he goes out towards the wing area, looking for a teammate there. As almost appealing for a push out there. I think that was Cairns. And they play on quickly now, onto the right boot in towards the half-forward line. Callanan's there as well. At the back spot, though, was Jordan Ovey. Couldn't take the cleanly. Kick now comes in towards the inside 45. Not going to fall for De Silva or Callanan. A little chip shot. And taking that mark is Jackson. Is it with the cry of distance? Yes, it was, according to the umpire. I think that was Jordan Ovey that got the kick through to him. And Mitch Jackson already got one this afternoon. He's going to look for another one on the siren here.
Could be a very handy goal here.
Yeah.
Indeed. He'll back himself. Kicked 4 last time we saw him on the EFNL game day in this very fixture back in round 9. He's got 28 on the year. This to make it 29. And he's dragged it to the right. So just the minor score and fitting end to the quarter. Ringwood 3-1-19, lead East Burwood at 2-5-17. Quick wrap of the goal kickers. Brereton with a pair, Jackson with one for Ringwood, and for East Burwood, Connor Agnew has both of their goals. We'll take a short break, and then we'll be back to break down the first quarter right after this on EFNL Game Day.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in, because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
And welcome back to EFNL Game Day here, live from Walker Park, where it's East Burwood Ringwood at 3-1-19, leading East Burwood 2-5-17. Goal kickers, Mitch Jackson with 1, Mitch Brereton with 2 for Ringwood, and 2 to Connor Agnew for East Burwood. We'll quickly get some scores from Blake Tennant before we break this one down. Thanks, Blake.
Yeah, so Premier scores got Baldwin 1-6-12 to Roval 2-2-14. South Croydon 3-4-22 to Norwood 3-5-23. The Noble Park game got Noble Park 21-11. Berwick lead 27-3 into Division 1. This is a big one, actually. Mitchum lead 33-18 over Moorabark, so a big one there. Waverley Blues 26-9 over Warrandyte at quarter time. And Surrey Park lead 27-14.
Thanks, Blake. There's some interesting scores already across the Eastern Football Netball League and Division 1 through to 4. It's finals time, Premier Division, last round of the season. Gents, let's have a look at this quarter, starting with you, Brash. What did you see in that one?
Yeah, look, it was a very interesting first quarter because I think for about the first 15 to 20 minutes, it was both sides' forward line that seemed to control the tempo of the game. But in that last 10 minutes, both sides' defence decided that we better tighten up a little bit. And then all of a sudden it became a bit of a... kicks and kicks to position were hard to come by, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm personally still shocked that Ringwood are up at the moment. They certainly made the most of their inside 50s, and they played really, really well, being very effective inside 50. But other than that, I think East Burwood's really controlled most of the passage going forward. I would be shocked if they weren't smashing in the inside 50s as we go boundary side.
Yeah, it's just here with Ringwood coach Brett Rowe. Brett, pretty good quarter in the end. Yeah, they were under pressure a lot in the first half of it, but you made the most of your opportunities going forward.
Oh yeah, we were a little bit concerned early that they were just getting us on the outside. And it was, and obviously because they want to go forward really well, like we were just getting a bit exposed there. But I think, the second half that quarter, our pressure got really good and we stopped that flow-on effect. So then all of a sudden when we won the ball from the contest, we were able to spread really well and get into our front half, which is what we're trying to do. So that was really pleasing in the second half.
And Mitch Burton was really important up forward. He's taken strong marks and he's been able to capitalise in front of goal. How important has he been so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Brez a pretty hard matchup. They've had to put a tall on him, but Brez is just so he's lively. He's really important to us. But so the rest of our forwards. But if someone goes to him, we want other people to step up. But yeah, he was really important that quarter.
And any changes in terms of stopping the influence of the likes of Mariani and some of the East Burwood midfielders?
Oh, look, I think we just got to be aware more than anything. I mean, we know lockdown. We've just got to be aware ourselves. But then I throw it back and just say, look, I think maybe we need to look at Mitch Jackson as well. Like Jacko's getting right on with his work rate. So it's a bit of both ways. But we still need to be aware.
Thanks, Brett. All the best for us again.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll bring this one in, and then we'll go to Paul just after the start of play. And we get going for quarter number 2.
So second quarter underway. It's been a cracking game so far. Just the 2 points in it. Ringwood with their noses in front as the umpire throws it aloft. Just a head out there from Latchford on the ground. Going in there trying to pick it up was Callanan, but the whistle's gone. The umpire says secondary ball up. So not exactly it's not a knockout game, this one, but there's still plenty at stake. The winner gets a trip to next week. The loser has to do it the hard way. Here's a knockdown opportunity now. The shot at goal from Martini, and it's touched on the line. And 3-4, a minor score as it's time to get under the boundary.
Yeah, I was listening into Stuart Wind at that quarter time address. He said they needed to be selfless against the likes of Mitch Jackson and Mitch Burton, get plenty of numbers onto him, and just stay into this game at half time. That he knew that they could, run the game out like they've done for most of this season.
Thanks, Josh. As the kick now coming in from Parker in towards the half-forward line, and it's all Ringwood in front of Hanlon there as they stream players forward into that forward 45. Here's the kick now into said forward 45, going back with a flight there. Almost a strong uncontested mark. Jackson looks like he's over the footy. Hand pass off. Comes back out now here to Callan in the pocket. Snap around the body. He's going to go to the top of the goal square. 2v1. Who can drag it in? Jordanov couldn't, and it's rushed through for a behind. No, they're never going to pay the deliberate in the EFNL. So Ringwood 3-2-20 leads East Burwood 2-6-18. Let's quickly go to Paul Uconi in the stats centre.
Inside 50s, they've been pretty even so far in this game. 9 apiece. East Burwood are on top in the clearances, 6-2, and tackles are 6 apiece.
Thanks, Paul. Martini slams it down the line, juggling there and taking it nicely in the end was Spiteri, and the tackle is well and truly wrapped up. The ball, should I say, it's well and truly wrapped up. It's taken there by Cairns. So umpire to throw it aloft. We're just about in the centre of the ground, or near enough. Up it goes. Hanlon getting the front spot there. Might have got the tap out in the end as the ball goes back, and it's in the hands of Collier. He slams it across the... In fact, he may be going for goal. He is, and he's just missed. Just pulled it left. I thought he was just setting it across the other side, but in the end he let rip. And he's just off target and through for a minor score. So 3-3-21 plays 2-6-18, and we're only a couple of minutes into the second term.
Collier just started to come into the game, I reckon, in the last 10 minutes of the first quarter. It was quite damaging.
Here's the kick. Young now had the front spot in front of that pack of players. Mariani, the ball eludes him. Wadley goes looking for it as well, but it's going to fall now here for Martini. Shook a tackle. Got a hand pass out now. Kemp's in good hands. And the kick comes back out to centre wing, but it's all Ringwood, and Latchford takes an uncontested mark here just inside the boundary line. Poor kick, and chopped off there by Anjemi. Edge of the centre square. He looks for options to present themselves. He's only got Young going forward, 1 versus 3, and it's all Ringwood. Latchford takes the loose footy, gets a hand pass out now here to Cairns. They go by hand again, and this is good from Ringwood as they come out towards the centre of the ground. Callanan had to do well, got a hand onto it, might be able to rove a bouncing footy. Callanan now takes a step, puts it onto the right boot in towards the front of the pack. Great mark taken there by Nathan Cairns. Strong jukes there in front of his man Jenkins, and he's going to line up from about 20 out directly in front.
that was a good piece of play there by both Cairns and Jenkins. It was just the way that Cairns just outmanoeuvred him and gained that valuable metre just to get those mitts out in front and take the grab.
Very, very strong grab as well. Really had to work hard for that with a defender on his tail like that.
So Cairns, this to potentially extend the lead to 9. He's had 13 on the year so far. Puts it onto the right boot.
Missed.
And,
it's a shocker.
Sure. They really hooked that one. And, well, the lead only goes to 4 points. 3-4-22 Ringwood, wrong division. 2-6-18 East Burwood as we played 4 minutes now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So a bit of a let-off for East Burwood there, should I say, as the ball goes out towards the wing and it's knocked out of bounds. Can't miss those shots, particularly in finals. They can really come back to bite you. That was very kickable. Umpire to throw it in. We're just about in the centre of the ground. Let's go to Blake.
Yeah, just got scores between Vermont and Blackburn. Got Blackburn 2-1-13 to Vermont 4-2-26 at quarter time. This means that Norwood are now in the 6th spot as we speak.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Blake. Keeping us right up to date as the ball goes down to the hands there of Martini. Now it's in the hands of Mariani. Mariani sets, has a bounce. He's going to have another bounce in a minute. Is he going to go for home? He's having a look and he decides to chip it out wide, and that is a great spoil coming in there. It was Oppie who almost took it. He's on the ground getting the secondary ball. Mariani, you can see his experience. He so wanted to have a crack, but he thought he'd try and find the man in the better position, but it just took a little bit too long to get there, and they were able to spoil it. So up it goes. Up they fly, bouncing around over there. Almost getting it was Oppie. He's been quite involved and on the ground again, and that's Mariani, I think, at the bottom of that.
I think you should have taken ownership, Brett,
I think so.
and gone for it.
Yeah, one thing to try and do the team thing, but I think in that situation he probably could have gone for home, but Kempson loses it. Ball comes out towards the boundary over there. Gets Kempson now. Got it in. And ball comes out again towards the goals, and it's almost gone through, but it's just off target. Oops, I've just dropped my clipboard.
Off target.
So excited.
So's the clipboard.
And Ringwood extend their lead at 3-4-22 to 2-1-17, and I'll just go away and just sort myself out. I'll be back in just a moment.
Didn't hear that on the effects, Mike. Anyway, here's the kick. That was Justin Short. Stelfox has it now for Ringwood. That was an interesting mark decision as Jones has the footy now. He settles things down and Jemmy was the offender on that occasion. They switch the play across the centre of the ground. And taking an uncontested mark there is Cairns, a long way from full forward. His right foot kick now, trying to find a teammate there in Jackson, unattended. He kicks it in towards the goal, in top of the goal square. It's chopped off. Looking there for it was Brereton, 2 already tonight, this afternoon. Jackson went looking for a good hand pass out there by Kennedy to a teammate. It's intercepted though by Ringwood. The kick in towards the Callanan direction. Can't drag it in. Almost did well to take that on the bounce. Ringwood have the numbers. Looking for a hand pass there is Jordanov. Puts it onto the left in towards goal, and that's just behind. And that was just another minor score there for the Redbacks. And they move to 3-5-23. East Burwood 2-7-19. As let's go to Paul Yukoni.
Ringwood have had the early run of inside 50s in this second quarter. They've already had 5 inside 50s to 2. But I pointed out earlier in the game that both teams need to take advantage of the wind to get up. But so far in this game, both sides to the scoring end have kicked 2 goals 10.
Right. So he's Ringwood now with the footy, trying to bring it forward. It's all a bit messy at the moment. Hooked around Brereton, and he's just put it away. Tell you what, it was a bit messy, but he hooked it just wide as we go boundary side.
And I just want to add to Paul's point a bit, as well about taking advantage of that. When we saw the reserves game earlier, and Boronia, they kicked 3-13, and most of those missed chances came from that attacking end as well. So it's become a bit of a recurring theme in these last couple of matches.
So here's the clearing kick out now towards a pack. Young had the spot, takes the mark, handballs it off quickly, dangerously there to Mulqueen. Bursts through one, puts it onto the right boot in towards the forward line. It's a one-on-one contest. Ringwood now have the numbers though, as that's not going anywhere. Back into the hands of the umpire. Well, that was a good burst forward there from the Rams.
Both sides are working absolute overtime in their back 50s at the moment.
Absolutely. The ball dragged right off the drop, and this one now scooped in by the Redbacks. They try to burst this one forward, looking for a little chip kick, taken brilliantly off the deck there by Wadley. Puts it onto the right boot out towards a vacant centre wing area. Foot race between the two number 30s, Rixton and Jordanov. Jordanov beat him to it, got the kick in towards the forward line, in towards the Brereton direction, but the direction of the boundary line as well, and that's going to beat all comers for a boundary throw-in. 5 points to margin, 8.5 played almost now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in this qualifying final between Ringwood and East Burwood. We'll go to Blake shortly after this passage of play. Here comes the boundary throw in now. Into the ruck is Jordanov. Got the front spot. Well, eluded him in the end. Looking for the off the ground there is Stamatopoulos. Hand pass now, comes out now, hit a Mulqueen. He gets a kick and a shoulder for his troubles, and a free kick to the Ringwood Footy Club for out of bounds on the full. Let's go to Blake.
Yeah, I got some more Premier scores. Got Donny East yet to score to Park Ortiz 4-9-33. So that's the only scores there.
So in comes the kick from the restart. Jordanov had to deal with 2 Rams players. A loose footy on the deck. Ringwood go looking for it. Last minute tackle. It looks like it was over the goal line. It was. And we'll have just a minor score again. That seems to be the feature for the Redbacks in this quarter. They move to 3-6-24. East Burwood 2-7-19, 9 minutes played.
So East Burwood to bring the ball back in the hands of... Here's the kick now. Coming in from Martini. Gets it long down the line. Getting the front spot there. And the mark has been... What happened there, boys? I've completely lost sight of the footy.
Yeah,
over the line, just punched away.
Yeah, defensive punch by Parker.
So it's going to be a throw-in. So beautiful conditions at the big final this afternoon out here at East Burwood. Up they go. Cavs Hanlon that got the tap down the ground, trying to get his hands on it there. In fact, getting it at George. Now ripping it away there was De Silva, but there's nothing doing there, and we're going to have another ball up. So the margin is 5 points, so less than a kick in it, and you get the feeling that it might be like that come the end of the game as well. It's going to be one of those days. The kick away from Young, only as far though as Parker. So here's a chance to go inside 50. There's the kick, nice 1-2, picks out Jackson. He's got one, dodges one opponent, gets his kick towards full forward. Who can get on the end of this? Up they fly. It was Jordanov who was there, but he couldn't quite get it. And it's been knocked through for a minor score. So Ringwood add 1 to their total. We were exactly a goal the difference. We're 7 points the difference. 26 playing 19 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And we've had 10 minutes of this second term.
There was a bit of an in-between kick there. Probably had to either hit the top of the goal square or have the shot on goal. It sort of sat just 3 or 4 metres out from the goal line. Quite an awkward spot for forwards to try and mark the ball.
So Jenkins' clearing kick is punched there by Hanlon. This is going to go straight out of the boundary. Boundary throw in on the half-forward flank here for East Burwood, right in front of us, near side of the ground. 7
behinds to 2 behinds in this quarter so far. Both sides are really struggling to kick a goal here.
So in comes the boundary throw. Cairns into the ruck now v Hatland. Cairns almost dragged that one down. Murphy did well to break 1 tackle, but not going to break 2. And the umpire will ball it up.
That's where I reckon you've got to be penalised. If you take the first one on and get it, and you go down the second, you've got to get pinned.
So we'll take a ball up. We'll go to Paul in a second. As Hanlon back into the ruck now versus Cairns. Hanlon gets the punch over the top. Went looking for it hard there to De Silva, and now over the shoulder. And looks like... Murphy's going to get awarded the free kick. He plays on quickly, switches on across the ground. Good vision there from Murphy to spot a teammate there in Tim Jones. He moves quickly, short spearing pass, but had the front spot, did Jenkins. Went looking for Brereton, might fall for Callan. No, he can't beat the boundary line. Let's go to Paul Yukoni in the Stats Centre.
Well, in the second quarter, the tackling pressure sort of died down a little bit. Only 3 tackles to 1 in this second quarter, and that's in favour of East Burwood.
Thanks, Paul. In comes the rucking contest. Jordanov, Callanan looking for a loose footy. Couldn't find it. As over the top as Mulqueen will have another ball up. So the pressure still hasn't let off from the first quarter at all. See how much of the tank both teams have in the gas as this game goes on. And here comes the hit out now. Mulqueen took that one off the draw. Puts it out at a nice clearing kick out towards the edge of the centre square. 2v2, hand pass now spilling out. Looking for it was Mariano on the near side. Good tackle. Well, took an eternity, and surely there's going to be a free kick. Yep, Jake May is going to get the free kick reward for effort. They're dragging Young to the ground, and he plays on quickly now. Switches on, looking there for Cairns. Has the sit, took a nice mark under pressure there. Cairns covered a lot of the ground today. Puts it up in towards the half-forward line. They're looking for Parker, the smaller man against Hanlon now. Brereton might take this one out of the air. Can't get it cleanly. Going in for it is Burmeister. Here's a loose footy now, turning around. Brereton's going to get a second go at it. Snap around the body, top of the goal square. Hasn't got the carry. I think he's kicked it.
Yes.
Mitch Brereton's got 3, and East Ringwood moved to 4-8-32. East Burwood 2-7-19. That's 2 straight contenders for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day. It's all Mitch Brereton. Let's go to Blake 10 at the score centre.
Yeah, got some Division 3 scores. Got Waverley Blues 5-6-36 to Warrandyte, 3-4-22. So the daughters were coming, but eventually Waverley Blues going to go. And I've also got a Division 4 game between Sylvan and Surrey Park. Surrey Park 6-3-39 to Sylvan 2-4-16. So interesting scores there.
Thank you, Blake. You can see the disappointment from Ned O'Shaughnessy there. He was on the line, and he's a big man, and he probably felt that he should have got a hand to that, but he couldn't do so, and it went through for a goal. But we're back in the middle of the grounds from the restart, and it's there to be contested. Nicely picked up over there. A little short kick. Doesn't find a target, though. Is it in the back? No, the umpire says no. Socket off the ground out towards the boundary, and it should go out of bounds, around about the centre of the grounds on centre wing. So margin is 12 points, so I think that's the game-high margin. Correct me if I'm wrong, boys. But
yeah, you're right.
And we've had 13, nearly 14 minutes gone in this second term. So East Burwood would be pretty keen, you'd think, to get the next one.
I think they need the next one at the moment, Brett.
It's been pretty tight so far as Hanlon gets the tap down, roving around the outside. There was George. George goes off. He sets a little kick inside, and the mark is taken. So it was Whack, I think, or no, in fact, it's Cairns, I think. He's got
it's
it.
Whack.
It is Whack. Whack and Cairns kind of look the same. Where they look like they've got a couple of mops on their head.
Sideshow Bob.
There's the kick down.
Another Simpsons reference.
We've got to get one at least in during the game. It's mandatory with Steve. Now the handball goes back. There's the kick into the middle of the ground. Gets over the top. Falls out. In fact, free kick, the umpire says, but you can see him just mimicking, indicating the push. And one of the East Burwood players a bit slow to get up, but nonetheless we'll play on. Now the kick out towards the wing. Up they fly. Mark almost taken there by Cairns. In fact, it wasn't Cairns, it was Barlow. Haven't seen much of him today. He's been pretty quiet as the ball goes out towards the boundary, but it's kept in over there. A little handball, Bill. It's a dangerous handball, but they do all right and they get out of trouble for the moment. That's Collier getting the kick forward. Now towards the wing. Chasing over there was Latchford, but he can't get there, and the ball has gone out of bounds.
It wasn't a kick to position by Collier, but the amount of metres he gained there was the best part of 50, 60 metres.
They've been very, very good this second quarter in particular, Ringwood, and gaining, going straight from half back to half forward. There hasn't been any mucking around.
So Latchford v O'Shaughnessy into the ruck now. Latchford wins the tap, can't go looking for it. There was Maurice, tapped it right out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. We'll go to Paul in a second. 4-8-32, East Burwood 2-7-19 if you're just tuning in on the SEN app, Radio Eastern 98.1 or streaming around the globe on YouTube and Facebook. In comes the boundary throw now. Over the top there was Latchford, got the hands on it though. They did O'Shaughnessy and he is dragged right to the ground. We'll have another ball up. Scoring opportunity here for Ringwood if they can lock this one in. But they need it in the majors column, not the behinds column. And they might get it through now. Bursting through the pack is Jackson. Puts it onto the right point. He's kicked another one. Mitch Jackson, that's his second of the game. It's Ringwood's fifth. And they start to pull away from the Rams. 5-8-38. East Burwood 2-7-19. And we've played 16 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Brereton and Jackson are really starting to influence that forward 50 there. Jackson once again just bursting front and square through the pack like sliced butter, and beautiful goal. Whereas Young and Braden Barlow for East Burwood, they're two forwards, they just can't get in the contest at the moment. I think Scott Wine's going to need to look at that.
So absolutely, it's all Ringwood at the moment. They've really got some momentum going into this half-time break. Cairns won it out of the middle, but the umpire says, hang on a sec, we'll just take a moment, and it's a free kick. Going to go the way of Ringwood, so if they can get another one before half-time, that would be huge in the context of this game, being that it's been relatively low scoring. And Jackson taking a bit of time. Now he goes long, inside 50. Who's going to get on the end of this? There's plenty of defenders back. As it's not...
Oh, he's lucky to get that mark there. I've seen worse paid.
He's paid. I was going to say that was a bit dodgy, but it's been paid. So Rixton it was, I think.
This is an important thing, passage of play, what they do with this ball.
Oh, that's a shocking handball. Sorry, Brash, as the ball goes loose, but they've managed to get themselves out of it. And they'll get it down towards the wing, but it's been cut off over there nicely by Parker. Parker wheels around and sends it back down the line. Looking for a big target, and up they fly. Beautiful mark. That's a fantastic grab over there. And they will have a chance to go and take another opportunity. Ringwood.
Hill.
It's Hill it was, he took it.
They're just starting to stretch the back 50 of East Burwood here, Ringwood. They've been caught out of position now, East Burwood. They just don't know which areas to run to.
So Declan Hill This will be huge if he can slot this through, but he's missed it. Umpire was moving pretty quickly as we go to Paul in the score centre.
Yeah, well, the first quarter was very tight with inside 50s, 8 apiece. This second quarter, Ringwood have had 12 inside 50s to 2, and marks inside 50. Ringwood have taken 5 to zip.
Stamatopoulos to bring the footy back in now here for the Rams. Gets collected as he kick, and that's going to be a downfield free kick. You're quite right, Brash.
Didn't have to do that.
Nope. Pretty undisciplined there from Callanan, but with a pretty comprehensive lead at the moment. Here's Maurice, takes the front mark there in front of Collier. And he waits for players to stream downfield, so he's got some options. Goes to a few of them now. Martini's at on the front. Mariani now looking there for Martini. Gets a long looping handball out in front of his man there in Oppie as he gets Sorry, that was Connor Agnew who got collected, and he's got himself a free kick. So Agnew, he might actually go back and have a shot. He's right in the hot hand. 2 goals already this afternoon.
I think he needs to have a shot.
Yeah.
He's been their man inside forward 50 so far this game.
So the offender there, Tim Wack. This one's going to be Connor Agnew. As I said, 2 already this afternoon. 27 on the year. That'll take him to. And the top of the goal square, flooded with players. Hanlon, Barlow, all the usual names back down there for East Burwood. In comes the kick. It's a long kick. It might have the journey. It's going to be just short, actually. Is a handball on it. Might fall for Mariani. Tackside kick, and he's kicked it. What a goal from Matt Mariani. One East Burwood sorely needed, and that brings him to 3-7-25. They trail Ringwood 5-9-39. And we'll go to Blake Tennant in the score centre.
Yeah, got a big one in Division 1 between Mitchum and Moorabark. Got Mitchum 39-36 in that game. And I've also got, as well with the women's score as well, I've got 42-39 for the Moorabark Mitchum game, and I've also got the South Croydon Mount Evelyn game 20-28. South Croydon won, so big win there as well. And I've also got Ballin 2-7-19 to Roeville 3-4-22.
Thank you, Blake. So what a crucial, great tackle it was as Wadley tried to come away with Ringwood. It's Mariani. He's really starting to impose himself on the game. Now Kennedy, as they work it down that line, if they could get another one before half-time, this would be quite a turnaround. Maurice over the top. Bouncing around over there was Oppie. He's played pretty well, Oppie, as the ball goes into the pocket. Now the kick towards goal. Is it? Oh, it's off target.
Agnew again.
It was a tough kick, and Agnew it was. He tried to go for the miracle goal, but nonetheless, that goal by Mariani and just a little bit of dominance in the last couple of minutes has just turned the tide a wee bit, and the margin is 12 points, 38-26 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So Cairns to bring the footy in, make sure he doesn't step on a rake on the way out. Here's a flick in towards the centre of the ground. Hanlon goes looking for it, dragged out of the air now here by Burmese. He's brought to ground, and a good tackle as Mariani is really on fire, NBA Jam style here in the last 5 minutes. Spiteri went looking for the footy, just couldn't drag it in, and Jemmy's in there as well, trying to drag in a hot footy. The momentum is really in favour of East Burwood here in this last 2 minutes, and they lock in another forward 45.
That's the thing with Mariani. He just knows when he needs to up the tempo. That's why he's
isn't it? Yeah.
That's why he's a league best and fairest.
Here's the tap out. Cairns went looking for it, tried to stab that one through. Picked up here off the draw by Kempson. Here's a little chip kick. It's just on the line. Play still alive. Agnew dragged to the ground. Manages to get a hand pass out over the boundary line. Boundary throw in, and danger averted there for Ringwood. Let's go to quickly, Paul.
Well, East Burwood have established their tackling dominance in this second quarter. They lead in that column 5-2.
Thanks. In comes the boundary throw. Cairns and Hanlon in the ruck duel. Give that to Hanlon. Went looking for it, did Mariani. Cairns got tackled there by Mariani. He's probably had 3 or 4 in the last 2 minutes. And a boundary throw in as we've 2 minutes now into time on. I think it's going to be a free kick, apparently, in the back, according to the umpire. So Cairns to bring the footy in. Thought it was a little bit rough on the free kick, but umpire made the call regardless. Cairns looking for targets upfield. He's found a couple of them, but there's a pretty congested pack. Over the back, Jordan of the tallest player couldn't drag it down, neither could Burmeister. Trying to tunnel ball that one out, and we're going to have a ball up as Oppie lays the tackle.
Really important 10 minutes here for East Burwood. They've got to hold here now and try and make sure that Ringwood don't score in red time.
So margin is 12 points. East Burwood have done one that looked like Ringwood were just getting on top as Hanlon takes the ball out of the middle and slams it forward, trying to find a target. Cairns was there, took the mark. Very good. Brown it was, sorry. He took the mark.
This was a bit of a theme in the first quarter. Both teams ended up having pretty similar inside 50s, but it was actually what was happening with those inside 50s that's important. That's going to go down as one, but it's an intercept mark straight away back.
So nearly 23 minutes gone as Brown just puts it down the line. Needs to be a safe kick. In fact, it's a bit too safe because he kicked it out of bounds on the full. So nothing safe about that, and it'll give East Burwood the chance to once again launch an attack on this big final. Finals footy well and truly upon us as the kick goes into the pocket. There's plenty of defenders there, and over the top it's Brown who comes and makes amends for his kick out of bounds and takes a great mark.
In fact, no, it's Delphox, Brett.
Cairns.
Sorry.
Delphox.
Nathan Cairns.
Oh, Cairns.
Sorry.
Third time lucky.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Well, we'll just work our way down the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just call all the players. So Cairns it was who gets it down the line. Up they fly. The ball goes off the hands of Jordan, and here's a chance now for Ringwood to go basically from one end to the other. The kick inside is Brereton. Fantastic grab from Brereton. He's been paid the mark. He likes his own work too. Goes back with a bit of a strut. There's the kick. Let's watch the replay, and you can see that it was a terrific grab.
He is a hard matchup, Mitch Brereton.
So
this is going to hurt. If he kicks this, it's going to really sting for East Burwood.
So he's got 3 already for the day, Mitch Brereton. This for number 4, and this will just undo a bit of the good work that East Burwood have done. There's the kick. I reckon it's off. Not going to make it. Mark, is it paid?
No,
it's not. It was Jordanov who was on the line, and he took it, juggled with it, but the umpire said no. We'll play the behind, so it's gone through for another point. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is a 40-25 margin. Sorry, 40-26, and we're coming up to 24 minutes gone in this second term.
So the Rams to bring the footy back in. And they go by hand quickly. Here's Stamatopoulos now. Puts it onto the right boot. Short chip kick out towards the boundary line. Good mark by De Silva. Goes over the top by a hand to Maurice. Here's a hand pass now finding Kennedy. He's got to be quick. Disposes it to the big man. Hanlon back to Maurice. Puts it onto the right in towards the forward line. But it's all Ringwood. And an opportunity wasted there for the Rams. Here comes the kick straight back out and finds the big man Latchford v Maurice. He turns around, surveys the scene, puts it onto the right boot and right over the boundary line there. Could have shuttled that one down and taken another step. Let's go to Blake in the score centre.
Yeah, got a half-time score between Sylvan and Surrey Park. Got Surrey Park 43 to Sylvan 28. I do have a score between Waverley Blues and Warrandyte. Waverley Blues 43 to Warrandyte 28. I do have a women's score as well. Got Whitehorse leading 40 to 32 in that game as well. And I've also got a game Moorabark versus Mitchum. Mullet just kicked the goal, so that puts Moorabark back in the lead by about 2 points. So big game there as well.
Thanks, Blake. 25 and a half gone in this one as we approach half-time. Maurice did the roving, pops it out now. Mariani, he's going nowhere. That should be a free kick, surely, to Jackson. Not paid. Here's the tap out there. Falls into the hands there of Steve Brown. His high looping kick is going to go over the boundary line, and we'll have a free kick going towards the Rams.
Just a fatal attraction over that side of the ground, isn't it?
Oh, not a... Okay. Must have been touched off the boot because that went straight over the fence. Anyway, boundary throw in, far side of the ground, centre wing area. Hanlon and Latchford to continue their rucking duel as we've played 26 minutes in this term. Hanlon taps this one out, had the front spot. Wadley doing the roving, ran right into trouble. Great tackle there from Mariani with that low centre of gravity, just like a ball.
He's held his own load, Latchford in the ruck.
He has indeed. Giving away, at least 30 kilos, I'd say, to Hanlon, and probably then some. Drove over the top. Wadley, the ex-Vermont player, drags that one down. We'll have another ball up.
I really do think at the moment, we've obviously got a passage in the middle of the ground, but the inside 50s going for East Burwood is really, really hurting them at the moment. They're having equal inside 50s as Ringwood, but they're just not using it the same.
Spiteri tried to do the roving. Jackson did well. He's dragged to ground and a strong tackle by Kempson, and we'll have another ball up.
Probably part of the reason a couple of their big forwards have been quiet as well. They haven't been in and around it, but at the same time, you can't do much when the delivery's not too good.
Yep, good point, Will, because Barlow hasn't really had a big factor on this game. We know how good he is. He's a goal-kicking machine. Bit of a 0-0 draw in the ruck. Maybe Hanlon got the tap as the ball goes forward. Mark taken nicely over there by Brereton. He's had a fantastic day today so far. 3 goals. He probably could have had 4. There's the kick going inside 50. It beats everybody, and it's going to be a goal. Just an absolute, just a Joe the Goose. And over the top, who was that,
Stagg.
boys? Ash Stagg, who hasn't been seen too much today. As we watch the replay, and you can see the ball just came over the top. A bit of a shepherd there. And out the back, and suddenly Stagg couldn't believe his luck, and he just ran onto it and has poked it through.
He overran it, the East Burwood guy, unfortunately.
So Ringwood get a crucial goal near the half-time break, and the margin out to 19 points. 69-40. 20. Yeah, our scoreboard is slightly out, I think, with the main scoreboard, so I'm not sure which one is actually right.
I got 6-10 to 3-8.
Okay, so we'll go with you, Brash.
Looks like while Lee Green's being stood down next week for the incorrect score. Anyway, here's the hit out of centre. Latford went for it. Here's the kick in towards the half-forward line. Couldn't take it there cleanly. Good tackle applied on Jones. And
he's
that's
gone.
Surely, yes, it is a free kick.
Gone.
And Martini will take the free kick. He's dead in front. East Burwood need one before the break to keep level as Martini sort of short stabbing towards the Packer players. Maurice couldn't drag it down there for the Rams. It's a loose footy. Going to get to it first is Wadley. Gets a hand pass out. Just evades Parker. Parker shakes the tackle. As the Rams trying to hen them in. Here's a high up and under. Stamatopoulos couldn't drag it down. Jackson went looking for it. Maybe got one up high. Here's Hanlon. Hands it off now to Stamatopoulos. Right stabbing kick in towards the direction there of Kempson. He couldn't drag the footy down. Players converge from everywhere and slaying a strong tackle where was ready, and we'll have a ball up. Now, is the siren going to sound before the Rams get a shot is the question here.
The umpires are really making you earn your marks this afternoon.
They are indeed. Hanlon now just tried to grab that one straight off the rucking contest. A loose footy, couldn't take it cleanly there. Could Brown, and picked up now just by May. He gets dragged to the ground over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw. Let's get a quick score from Blake.
Yeah, got Division 3 scores again. Got Waverley Blues completely opening up this game now, 51 to 28. I do have another score between Moorabark and Mitchum, 51 to 49. So very intense game there, down at Timor.
So go ahead.
Sorry, Steve. Latchford it was. He got the head out. And East Burwood would go inside again. Ball on the ground. Trying to pick it up there was Maurice. He had it for a moment. Managed to get rid of it. Bouncing around inside 50. But you can see there's plenty of Ringwood players back there. And good tackle in there.
In the back maybe.
In the back, is it? Let's wait for the umpire. No, just a ball up.
Okay.
So we're coming up to nearly 30 minutes play. They've been long quarters. So the first quarter was a long one. I think it went to about 30-odd minutes. And this one the same. Up it goes. And what on cue, the siren goes to bring to an end a very good half of footy. It was tight for a while, but Ringwood have just put a little bit of a gap between them and the Rams on the scoreboard at halftime. And we go to the halftime break with a score at 46 to 26, a 20-point margin. Steve, what happened to the goal kickers?
Quick wrap up of the goal kickers. Well, 3-2-1 here for Ringwood. Mitch Brereton with 3, Mitch Jackson with 2, and Stagg with 1. That last one. Connor Agnew has 2. And Matt Mariani has 1, respectively, for East Burwood. We'll go through all of the eastern suburbs, according to Bruce Prest. So, Ringwood 6-10-46, East Burwood 3-8-26. We'll be back with a halftime show right after this.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in, because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome to the Eastland's Match of the Round. Half-time here at the qualifying final at Walker Park, my apologies, between Ringwood and East Burwood. It is currently Ringwood with a 20-point lead, 6-10-46 over the Rams, 3-8-26. I'm Ryan Long, joined by Josh Ward and Blake Tennant for the half-time break here. Josh, bit of an interesting game so far. Certainly all the play has been onto this left side of the screen with a bit of a wind advantage, which has been, as we've been down on there, it's been picking up at times, but then drops off a little bit. But clearly there is a bit of an advantage going that way. But neither side has probably made the most of their opportunities yet.
Yeah, they definitely haven't, particularly East Burwood, because they kicked, I think it was 2 goals 5 in that first quarter, and they were behind a quarter time as well. So. Yeah, and Ringwood as well. They've just been able to do what they've been able to do all season. Just lock it in their attacking half, consistently get chances, and whilst they missed chances towards the back end of that quarter, they took advantage of those chances and hold a pretty handy advantage.
Well, you're right. They certainly probably did get into control more of that game. Their transition game has been a lot better than East Burwood's. I thought East Burwood probably really struggled to get out of their back 50 that quarter, and Ringwood, when they come from half back, they seem to be able to link up quite well, especially on the far side. And Burton has just been dominant up forward. He's been the key forward for them. He's clunking a lot of marks up there. Probably could have an extra goal. He's got 3 at the moment, so he looks to be the guy that could probably break open this game. If this, if he can get off the leash in this third quarter, he could probably win it for Ringwood in a matter of 10-15 minutes.
Well, I reckon he's already gone off the leash. He's kicked 3 goals. He's just looked absolutely dominant. I think he's playing that role that Mitch Jackson played again. Well, when we saw that Ringwood East Burwood earlier in the season as well, it's just been, dominating up forward, creating plenty of chances, taking advantage of his chances that he's had in front of goal. And he could have had 4. That one behind he got in that second quarter, it banged the post. So it's been really dominant from him. He'd have to be one of the favourites for the Eastland player of the match so far.
Yeah, certainly. And one of the things I noticed in that second quarter there, it was a certain play, I think it was about 18 minutes into that second quarter. Ringwood had all the play. The ball goes inside 50. Hill took a mark uncontested. There were about 3 East Burwood players around the contest. No one went up to contest the mark. And I think that's probably a bit of a warning sign that their defence probably has to be a bit more tight, especially when you've got players like Hill and Burton and Jordan Nob who can really take big marks and can really impact a game.
Definitely, and that's been their problem all year, East Burwood. They haven't had the greatest defence. Ringwood have, they should be taking a couple of lessons from Ringwood, who not only have the best defence, in my opinion, in Division 2, they probably have one of the best defences in the entire Eastern Football Netball League. It's all system-based, and I feel like they should take a few lessons from Ringwood this, for the rest of this game or in this quarter, because they're looking a little lost in defence, and that's been their main problem all year. They need to fix that up heading into the second half.
And Blake Tennant, we've got you here with a lot of important games around the grounds. Got some finals, Premier Division, really important games. What have we got around the grounds?
Yeah, I've just got the Bourne and Rayville game as we speak. Half-time, Bourne 20-26, South Croydon and Nord. This is a big one for Nord, especially. Norwood 40-23. So at this stage, Norwood are in the 6th spot. Because Blackburn are down by 7 points to Vermont, 35-42. North Ringwood Berwick 37 to North Ringwood 11. Noble Park Doncaster still got the same score. Must be a typo or something there. 39 Park Orchard to Doncaster East 24. This is a big one in Division 1. I've got Mitchum 51-49 over
That's
Moorabark.
huge.
Apparently Aaron Mullett is limping, so that's not good news for Moorabark fans if you're on the broadcast. I've also got Waverley Blues. They're trying to open this game up as much as they can. They really are trying to put the accelerator on. I've got Waverley Blues 51 to Warrandyte 28. And our man, Josh Ward, he'll be a very happy man down at the Pamper Pit. They've got 47 to 28 to Sylvan at half-time. So 2 more quarters, Josh, remember.
Yeah, there's
There you
still a half left,
Yeah.
but a really good start, a promising start. And Sylvan do have the weapons to get back into this game, but yeah, that's what we like to hear as I sit down on the boundary before. And just another note as well, James Charge was off as well. We've got our man Davis Harrigan down there at East Burwood Reserve. So if he's out for the rest of the game, that's a bit of a blow for
That's a
Sylvan.
big loss, as Matt said in the pre-game, Josh. But look, I may have to start believing in Surrey Park finally. You've probably twisted my arm there. But getting back to this game, because we're about to go to our break quite shortly, Josh, what do East Burwood need to do to get back in this contest? Because they probably, despite only being 20 points down, it seemed that Ringwood have pretty much a stranglehold on the game.
It's not. They have a stranglehold on the game, but it's mainly on the outside. East Burwood have been pretty good. Have been pretty good on the inside, but they just haven't found that outside run. So they need to get that outside run through defenders like Evan Stamatopoulos, who's been a key factor in that run this season. You know, you've got Ben Hammond down there. He was playing. I think he was playing on Mitch Burton to start the game, but he needs to, start getting some run. They need to start getting some run from defence and from their wings as well. That'll get them back into the game.
You're certainly right. And probably the next 5 to 10 minutes, this first 5 to 10 minutes of this third quarter is huge. If they can be able to get a couple of goals back on the board, get the margin close at three-quarter time. If they can hit the lead, very positive, they'll be a big chance. But we'll have all that coverage after the break. At the halftime break, it's Ringwood leading by 20 points at halftime. 6-10-46 to East Burwood, 3-8-26 out at Walker Park for this qualifying final.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
And welcome back to EFNL Game Day on the SEN app, streaming live around the globe on YouTube and Facebook, or simulcast on Radio Eastern at 98.1. We're almost set for the third term out here between Ringwood and East Burwood. Ringwood 6-10-46, leading East Burwood 3-8-26. Quick recap of the goal kickers. Mitch Brereton with 3, Ash Dagg with 1, and Mitch Jackson with a pair for the Redbacks. And for the East Burwood Footy Club, Connor Agnew 2 and Matt Mariani with 1. Don't forget, people, the podcast, the finals preview now with Monday Recovery has retired for the season. As we have just a weekend forecast next Friday. Join Maddie and the crew as they break down every finals matchup. We'll be on air every Saturday and Sunday until the 17th of September with the Premier Division Grand Final. It'll be here before you know it. And, well, we will just keep it as both teams have now gone back onto the field, so we're a couple of minutes away from action. Gents, your thoughts coming into this third term, starting with you, Brash.
Yeah, look, we all four of us had a bit of a quick chat about this at half-time, and we all seem to think that East Burwood need the first couple of goals in this in this third quarter to get back into the contest. Braden Barlow and Marcus Young need to start kicking goals and finding the ball for East Burwood, whereas for Ringwood, they seem to have plenty of numbers around the contest. If they kick the first 2 goals against the wind in this quarter, I think it's going to be a really hard press for East Burwood to get back in the contest this afternoon.
I'll just read some quick scores firstly. Yep. Surrey Park 7-5 to Sylvan 4-4 at half-time. Baldwin 2-8-20, Trail Roval 3-8-26 at half-time. Raybaird out at that game. So, yeah, sorry, Brett, you were going to give us your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think they do have to start well, East Burwood. I mean, they were in the game early. It looked like it was going to be a really tight contest in that first sort of 15 to 20 minutes, and then suddenly they just flicked the switch, Ringwood, and they've jumped away to a 20-point lead. So you'd have to think that if they don't get early goals in this term, they're going to be in a bit of trouble. Matt Mariani tried really hard on that term. He was in and under. He busted his guts to try and get them back into the game, but he needs a few help from some of his other mates.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big one for me, Mitch Brereton, obviously we know he had an outstanding first half. East Burwood, I think, would be looking to really give him a lot of attention inside 50. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think every single touch he had that first half ended in a score involvement, either off his own boot or giving it off to someone else. As we go to Paul Uconi in the Stats Centre.
I just want to point out, boys, that the wind is heading to the left of screen, a very strong wind, but both sides are struggling to kick with it. Both sides collectively to the left of screen, which is the scoring end, have kicked 5 goals, 14 to that end.
Yes, no, just about all set here, boys. Looking forward to the second half.
Like I said, it's a really important 10 minutes here for East Burwood. Take it away, Brett.
Thank you, Brace. So the umpire to throw it aloft. Up they fly. As Latchford got the first hit out of the second half into the clinches, and the tackle is made. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up. So the margin is 20 points.
Boundary.
And let's go down to the boundary.
Yeah, I just noticed something in that centre bounce. Andre Ngami is starting in the centre bounce. He's usually played a bit more forward in this game, but starting in the centre bounce. Interesting change of tactics here from Stuart Wind.
Okay, so Windy does have to move a few magnets around as Ringwood go inside 50. Long kick forward. Can they get on at the end of it? Yes, they can. Marcus Tate's got to be paid, surely. It has. I thought for a minute. It's Brereton again. As we just watched the replay, and it was just a bit too easy, really. Well, the kick inside was, but the mark was a good one. It was a great contested grab. And Mitch Brereton, you just wonder what they're going to do with him because he's threatening to tear them apart here. This will be his 4th.
They don't seem to have a match-up for him, do they?
No, they don't.
Seem to isolate in there as well. There's a lot of room for him to lead into one-on-one.
Absolutely. So here's Brereton. This will be the start that Ringwood would have wanted in this last term. I reckon it's there. No, he's missed it. It's way off target.
Yeah, left to right, but too much.
There's been a few kicks like that today. The ball
There
hasn't
has
been
been.
going very as much over and on end as it normally would.
So we
Boundary skewing to the
can't
side.
blame the wind for that one as we go boundary side.
I think that might have been the wind. It is blowing.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
Don't worry about it, Besto.
There was a bit of wind at that time, pushing towards that left-hand side. So it could have been a bit of a shank, but I reckon it's because of the wind there.
Yeah, it's just blowing in the wind.
Fair call. So Pilker takes the mark from Martini's kick in. Pilker. It's funny, you look at the flag, I suppose it's blustery, fairly blustery, but it's hard to tell in the commentary box. Up they fly, great mark taken over there. That's Martini. So they're trying to get a little bit of a wig on here. That's a terrible kick. Some of the kicking efficiency has been awful. Dropped there by Callanan on the grounds. Trying to pick it up over there was McQueen, Mulqueen at least. Now they can go forward again, East Burwood. They get a little kick out towards the wing. Nice mark taken over there by Kennedy.
Yeah, they need more from him.
This is better. Jason Kennedy goes in board. Mark not taken. It's on the grounds. Can they keep it inside? They need to lock it in. There's the big man Hanlon. Gets onto the left boot. Funny old kick towards full forward, should I say. Might have been a push there. They're taking possession, and that'll be a stoppage, and that's probably the result that they want.
With this wind in this third quarter for East Burwood, it would be nice to see them have a little bit more depth in their inside 50s, not kicking it so shallow, hanging around the 40-metre mark, getting it a little bit deeper.
So Hanlon won about 20 metres with that punch, went over the top of the head there of Reddy. Players dive in and will have a ball up as the tackle laid there by Martini. 47-26, 2.5 played here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in quarter number 3. Here comes the restart. Hanlon again wins the tap. Brilliantly roved there by Martini. Took an eternity to get rid of the footy, and he's rightfully punished for it. And we'll have a free kick here going the way of Lang. His kick out towards the wing. Taken here by Tim Jones. Puts it onto the right boot. Looking for it there, one-on-one contest, dragging it the 226s, and the white one, Pilker, wins the contest, but I thought we were going to have a free kick of sorts. And Pilker now looking for options upfield, puts it onto the right boot. Taken there, uncontested by Kennedy, turns the corner, puts on the afterburners, puts a high floating kick in towards centre half forward. 2-on-2 contest, going to fall here for Hanlon. Met solidly and up high. Not paid by the umpire. Play continues. Loose footy on the deck. Parker does the roving. Pops a hand pass out over the top. Here's Cairns. Got to move quickly and does. Puts a hand pass in the path of a teammate there. And catching one high there was George. Not paid the other way. Two-man tackle. Well, jeez. Wearing the meat in the sandwich and not the $5 offering in front of them then in the tent says we're going to have a ball up on centre wing. The physicality going up here in the last, all game really, particularly the second term. Here's the hit out over the top from Latchford. Been a decision about who was going to pick that up there from the Rams. A couple of Ringwood players converge. Here's a kick now, grubber one. Mariani puts the head over the footy, and he's not going to be able to take that out as Martini gets tackled, and we'll have another ball up.
Let's quickly go to Paul in the stats.
Well, in this third quarter, Ringwood have already bought the tackling pressure. They already have 5 tackles for the quarter, and I also wanted to point out that I'll speak after this inside 50.
Okay.
Here comes the roving now. That one was dragged in by Angus Reddy, and he's dragged to the ground, and the football will go back to the umpire.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish off that. Thank you, boys. Ringwood have taken 7 marks inside 50, but have not been able to seal the deal. They've only kicked 1 goal from those 7 marks inside 50, so they haven't been taking their chances when they've been getting those grabs.
And Jemmy now got to be quick to get rid of the footy. Had to quick out now, hit a Pilker. Right floating kick now in towards the goal squares. All Ringwood players, though. In there is Barlow. He's been very quiet by his lofty standards usually. He's dragged. Surely that's got to be holding the ball, and is. And we'll have a free kick going to the Redbacks.
So, a bit of pushing and shoving there, but the umpire says let's just bring it back and calm it all down. Collier with the footy. Ringwood to go forward. Now they get the long kick outside, 50, out towards the wing. Up they fly, almost a mark, but it goes into the hands of Jordanov, as he gets a kick, long kick, but there's no one home down there. Beautiful mark going back with a flight there was De Silva. And De Silva, great work from him, chips it up the line, finds Jimmy. And Jimmy just goes back, a little bit of sun beating down out here at Walker Park, very pleasant conditions. No sign of the forecast rain, there's the kick. Now it's about far forward, taken over there, and then balls goes loose. Socket off the ground, up towards the wing, and here they come again now, East Burwood. What can they do this time? Here's the kick forward, but it's a poor one, and it's easily marked over there. That's not a great kick at all, and marked by Brown, and they will rebound Ringwood.
So bringing the footy out now is Brown. His short right foot kick is cut off there. Good read there from De Zilwa. Had 2 marks in the last 2 minutes. He's looking for teammates afield. Pretty tight marking here from the Redback. So he puts a kick into a contest. And, well, that was a poor disposal in the end. And Ringwood have the footy, or do they? They've got a free kick going back the other way.
Pushing the back.
Yeah, so that was undisciplined from the Redbacks. In comes the kick now into a congested top of the square. Plenty of players under it, getting the fist on it. And out of it goes as Kansas scored it out for a minor score. So 6-11-47, East Burwood 3-9-27. We played just over 6.5 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross boundary side to Josh Ward.
Yeah, so just before as well, I noticed Andre Ngemi is going on a run with Mitch Jackson. Jackson has just come off, but looks like Ngemi's gotten the roll on Jackson for this second half.
So Stuart Wine, as I said before, moving the magnets around, trying some different things as the ball goes up towards the wing, and Hanlon gets there first, and quite happy just to slam it out of bounds.
Eastburn are really missing the structure of McCutcheon at centre-half back and Wills' run and Grunt off that back 50 as well. They're just not getting any run.
Yeah, I must admit, when I heard Maxie Wills was out, I thought that is probably a massive loss for them. That's no doubt about that. Now Wadley goes up the line inside 50 with the kick. In fact, it's been marked back there by East Burwood. Not a great kick at all.
It's like playing kickings off at the moment, isn't it?
Yep, so here they come out of defence. Long kick forward, out towards the wing. Up they fly. Almost a mark taken there. Over the back it goes. And they'll do well to keep it in over here. And they have done through May. May getting himself into a bit of trouble, but the umpire's whistle is gone.
And I don't reckon, and to be honest with you, I don't think Ringwood are all that upset about it either.
So it is a throw in. I think May was happy there because he was in a spot of bother as the umpire gets good purchase on the throw. Nice and high. Latchford got to the front spot, knocks it down. Going in there and getting the hit out by the tap forward was Wadley.
Oh, good tap.
Mariani, look at him. He's just about taking out the advertising hoardings over there. Poor old cheesecake shop. And we'll have a throw it on the far side.
Can't say I'm a regular customer, but anyway. As I'm sure Mariani's looking for an endorsement. And not with his diet, I'm sure. There's the tap now. Looking for it was Hanlon, and that's going to go back into the arms of the umpire.
No, I'm sure he'd be looking at Mama Fiorelli's garlic bread.
Off to Brunetti's afterwards. Anyway, here's Hanlon. Wins the tap, wins his own pass. Back to Mariani, shakes one, gets a handball out now. Head to Spiteri, the Italian connection. Can connect up, is looking, diving for it. Oh, I think Barlow got one up high. At least he's appealing for it.
See how the players just cannot hold their feet. Even though the ground's dry, they just can't hold their feet.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to go out there, wouldn't it, and just see what it is like, because it doesn't look too bad from here. But
Hanlon wins the truck. Trying to go off the ground there was Martini. Looking for it is Cairns on the deck. Gets some assistance there from Collier. Gets a hand pass out. It's chopped off. Going back to Hanlon. Puts it onto the left. It's across the face and right across the face. Out of bounds on the full. And let's cross boundary side.
Yeah, just on those conditions. It's not too bad now, but it was out there quite a bit earlier this morning, and it is a little bit muddy, a little bit wet, so maybe a bit of that still playing.
It's an interesting one because the sun has been out for a fair while, and you'd think that with the wind and everything that it would have dried out. There's Wax sending it down the line. Sorry, it was Cairns. He sent it down the line, and it's not a good kick. Mark taken there by Marcus Young.
Need more from him.
So Marcus Young, we talked about Marcus Young and Barlow needing to get into the game. The kick to full forward.
Oh, good
what a great mark. That's fantastic stuff.
He's been rushed
through.
Okay.
Okay, so Cairns it was who was back there. Looked like he grabbed it, but the umpire says, well, play the behind. I'm sure they're not overly fussed either way. The margin is 19 points.
He's had a good game so far, Cairns.
He has. He's had a cracking game. So Cairns gets it out towards the wing. Might have overcooked it. Oh, good mark taken over there. Beautifully jogged by Oppie, and he's played well as well, particularly in the back end of that second quarter. Goes inside 50, trying to find a target. But look at all the Ringwood players back there. There's just so many of them. And there was never going to be a mark there. Spinning away was Wadley. He's been good as well. And as I say that, he kicks it straight to an opponent.
Neat.
So neat it is. This is getting a long kick. He's going to have a crack, but he'll be outside 50. So.
Oh, he's a known goal kicker, Louis, Neat. I've watched him in his junior days at Vermont. He can kick a ball, and he's quite capable of kicking a goal.
Mind you, we have to remember when we say 50, of course, that these probably the 50 arcs are not really 50. They're probably more like 45s. But he's kicking from an absolute mile out, but he's got plenty on it, but he's not going to quite have the distance. And it's been knocked through for a minor score. Let's go to Paul in the stats.
East Burwood have been onslaughting the inside 50s early 4-1, but still cannot kick a goal to the scoring, and either side collectively have kicked 5 goals, 17 to the scoring end.
Thanks, Paul, as that one rushed out over the boundary line, and 11 minutes played here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 6:11:47. The Redbacks with a commanding 3:11:29 lead over the Rams. So in comes the boundary throw, edge of the centre square. Neat v Latchford in the ruck. Give that one to Neat. Backhand task. Now comes up to Martini's high up and under. Plenty of players under it. Kansas got the sit. Didn't take the mark. Probably should have. Going in for it there was Kennedy. And we'll have a ball up. So don't forget, plenty of action across the Eastern Football Netball League. We'll be bringing you Donvale versus Coldstream tomorrow at the same time. So make sure you tune in. Here's the ruck hit out over the top, falls into the hands now of Kennedy, shakes one, puts the kick in towards the top of the goal square. Nice fist over the top there by Wack. Presented a goal scoring opportunity there for the Rams. Just a minor score though, 3:12:30. They trail 6:11:47 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
They really have to start hitting the straps here at East Burwood. They've had their chances. They've had 10 minutes to settle into the quarter. They've got the win for the rest of it. They're not doing themselves any favours by not converting.
So that's right, Raw. They're certainly doing it in ones at the moment, which is not really ideal. So Ringwood to bring the ball out. Little short ball given off to Collier. Collier slams it down the line, trying to find a target. Almost a mark taken over there, but dropped by Jordanov, and it's close to the boundary and taken across the boundary in the end, and we'll have a throw in. So the margin is 17 points. So they've made a small inroads, East Burwood, but they really need, as we said, just to make a bit of inroads while they've got the wind in this term. Umpire to throw it in. Up they fly. Getting to the front spot there was Neat. Did well. Knocked it down. Mariani trying to pick it up. But they do in the end. They get it East Burwood and they stab it forward. But it's not the best of kicks. Might still work out. And in the end, it's over the boundary. So one of the spectators here trying to take a grab.
I reckon we take the caravan over the other side next week and watch it over there. I reckon it'll be good.
There's some pretty interesting characters over there. I'm just looking at all the designer sunglasses. And
we'll leave the effects mic over here, though. It is a PG show.
Latchford almost got the head out, went straight over his head, though, as they get it forward out towards the boundary. Stag chases, and it's over that side again, and once again, it's out of bounds. As we go to Blake.
Yeah, big scores coming in Division 4. Our man Josh Weld would not like this. Sylvan 52 to Surrey Park 48. They have hit the front.
Just on that, I'm not surprised they came back. They're too good of a side, Sylvan.
Waverley Blues lead 63 to Warrandyte 34. That's another big score. Moorabark and Mitchum. Moorabark 50 to Mitchum 59. And as well, Bowen, the big winners over here, coming in, about to win, is Bowen 27 to 26. That's the last quarter. Interesting there. And Park Orchard's 41 to Doncaster East 24.
That's the last quarter, that Bowen score.
That's correct.
Wow.
Ray's telling us.
Wow.
So here's the dribbling kick now picked up by Mulqueen. Gets a quick handball off to Kennedy. High floating kick. It's just going to be the required distance if someone can take a mark. Cairns went for it. Well, both Cairns did.
I reckon Ray Baird set his clock 30 minutes fast.
I reckon he's dozed off.
New Zealand Central Standard Time as his Cairns now put out towards centre wing as a one-on-one contest. And that's going to go over the boundary line and we'll have a boundary throw-in. 47 to 30, clipboard's going everywhere. First besto, now me.
It's 2-1 to me, though. I've done it twice.
Okay, well, 2-1. We'll go to Paul Uconi in the Stats Centre. East Burwood's and Ringwood's 3 to 4 in the commentary boxes.
And he's looking for a board too.
So here's a tap forward. It's going to go evade all players. DeZille was in there, and we'll get a ball up. Let's go to Paul Uconi in the Stats Centre.
Both sides defensively have been on in this third quarter. 7 intercept marks collectively between the two sides. East Burwood have taken 5, Ringwood have taken 2.
Nathan Cairns would have most of those intercept marks as well, I would have thought.
Indeed. Neat now wins the front spot. Almost roved there by Martini. Trying to take it cleanly is Wadley and peels for a free kick. It's going to go back over the boundary line. Boundary throw-in.
The last thing East Burwood want here is to see Ringwood get a goal on the counter punch here.
Coach Killer.
15 minutes played here in this third term. 17 points the margin in favour of the Redbacks. Latford won the tap acrobatically. Spinning acrobatically himself there was Collier. And he might win himself a free kick. No, umpire says, give it back to me. Let's go to Paul in the Stats Centre.
I want to point out the tackling pressure in this quarter too. Ringwood have had 8 tackles to 2.
So tackling makes it a big part of the game. There's Mariani. Look at him in there getting taken on the ground. And he's won a free kick. It was high, the umpire said. He's not a big man in terms of height, but he's just so nuggety, isn't he, Mariani? Here's the kick inside 50. Almost a mark taken there. Young it was who flew high. Ball on the grounds. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up, or just eventually we will. Yes, he's blown his whistle now. So a 17-point margin, and you just think if East Burwood could get the next goal, you feel like they're almost out of the game, but if they get the next one, they'll be right back in it. Good strong tackle on the ground, no chance of it coming out. And the umpire says we'll ball up.
Both sides are not prepared to take the switch on this afternoon, if you've noticed, kicking the ball to try and create some space on the fat side of the ground.
Well, East Burwood might have to do something soon, because as the game gets later on, if they don't make inroads on the scoreboard, it's going to be tough for them. Mark almost taken over there, but it's spilled on the ground. There's Mariani in there. Managed to force it loose, but it's been wrapped up again.
That was well done, I think, that by Tim Jones to get that, to even force that into a stoppage there, because East Burwood were hovering, 3 or 4 were hovering around to take that ball.
So Need into the ruck v Latchford. Wadley lurking for the footy. Well, got dragged down without it. He went for the shepherd, then he got one over the shoulder.
It's on.
And we've got a bit of push and shove. I don't think there's going to be too much of it, because you don't want a yellow or red card, particularly a red at this stage of the season. But we'll go to Blake in a second here. So as we've still got a 4 or 5v Royal Rumble over there on the side of the ground. Here's Spiteri now, trying to get a hand pass out. Taken down as Stamatopoulos. Good tackle there by Callanan, but the umpire says a fair game. We'll have a ball up. Let's go to Blake in the score centre.
Yeah, just got some. I'm going to start with the Deakin University women's score. I've got White Horse Pioneers. They got up today as well. Congratulations to them. And the big one as well is South Croydon beating Mount Evelyn 42-20. So that's a big one there. And as well, I've got another score is South Croydon. They've just hit the front 42-41. As we speak now, Norwood now dropped to 7th on the ladder.
Thanks, Blake.
Wadley.
Here's Wadley now off to the races, puts a right foot kick, bouncing in the direction of Brereton, turns the corner, puts it onto the right himself in the direction of Callanan. Great mark going back with the flight. Brereton to Callanan, and Zach Callanan is going to line up and hopefully, as far as Ringwood are concerned, put a major on the board.
This is a crucial kick here. This is a really crucial time now for East Burwood. If Callanan converts here, it makes it over 20 points.
So Callanan, no team has kicked a major since half time. Callanan, 18 on the year already, in and out of the lineup due to injury, but he's in this afternoon. He's had a pretty good game in spurts. He runs in from about 20 metres out onto the right boot, and he's missed it. Well, there was an anticlimax if there ever was one. 6-13-49. Ringwood now leading East Burwood 3-12-30. We've played 18.5 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So a massive let off for the Rams there. They're just hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Margin is 18 points. So they bring it back in from the kick in. Here's a little short chip out there. Nicely done. Finds Reedy. Now they have to go forward. This is the thing. They can't be winning the game off half-back or from half-back. Down the line, Wadley gets up and he knocks it out of bounds over there on the far side. Bit of useless information for you boys. Would you believe this is the first time these sides have met in a final since 1967?
Wow.
Bruce Press was 30 years old then, I think, wasn't it?
So, quite remarkable.
29.
Really. So, here's the head out from Hanlon. It's only as far as Jackson.
Here we go.
Here they come. Inside 50, the long kick forward. Can someone get on the end of this? Funny old bounce.
Yeah.
And it's out of bounds.
They just have not been able to deliver the ball inside inside 50 with any sort of accuracy this afternoon, East Burwood.
No, they certainly haven't. It's made it tough for the likes, as we said, of Barlow and co. And it goes. Ball goes to grounds. Diving on it there was Maurice.
Anything you can do for Barlow, like moving him up the ground, get him a little bit higher, get him involved, or is it just a matter of delivery for him?
So in comes the ball up. Cairns tried to swat that one forward. Only over the boundary line will have another ball up.
I think, well, the problem is that I think Rowe has decided that he's not going to give Barlow or Young any sort of latitude whatsoever.
So Kempson to do the rucking now here for East Burwood. He wins the tap over the top, and it's a scrum of sorts. And Jemmy now gets a right foot kick. Bacon goal square. It's going to bounce to the left, and just another minor score. What a surprise for this term. 3-13-31 East Burwood. Trail Ringwood 6-12-48 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're into time on. Let's go to Paul Yukoni.
I just want to point out the inside 50 marks. East Burwood haven't taken one yet in this game. They've got the wind in this quarter and are kicking to the scoring. And what I suggest they should do, they should try get it into some targets. And get some inside 50 marks and give him a better chance.
Here we go.
Here's a chance. Marcus Young has taken the kick. It wasn't a great kick in. It went to Young and he was about 52 out, but now they've played a 25-metre penalty.
Yeah, just over the mark there. The two Ringwood guys.
Yeah, I think it was fair enough. No, definitely fair enough. So this is a massive kick. And this will give East Ringwood, it'll get them back in the game. It'll get it back to an 11-point game.
It's a must kick.
East Burwood, sorry.
It's a must kick goal here. Must kick.
So here we go. 34 goals for the season. Here's the kick on its way. He's pulled it. He's out. That's just that's unforgivable. You really can't miss those. And that's a massive opportunity gone begging. So 16-point margin, 6-12-48 to 3-14-32. And we've had about 21 and a half minutes gone in this third term.
You're going to have to start moving the goalposts on wheels pretty soon, because this is some shocking accuracy from both clubs this afternoon. Here's a short pass on now, finds May, takes an uncontested mark just inside the 45 arc.
26 behinds.
Yeah.
There's been more behinds in a nudist colony this afternoon.
Well, I said this was a PG show, but anyway, I'll make an exception for that. Pretty good call there, Brett. Here's the kick now here from Stelfox. Trying to find a teammate there in Broad. Takes the mark, plays on quickly, puts a left foot kick out towards Lang, and well, that was a Barry Crocker. That's over the boundary line, out of bounds on the full.
Unfortunately, the cracks are showing for both sides.
Oh, here we go. The avalanche has started. I'm just getting out of the way and not trying to get it.
Fresh really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, no. Here's Hanlon now. He's a roving now here to Wadley. Gets a hand pass out to a teammate there in Broad. He takes a bounce, thinks about a second one, puts a right foot kick in towards the Callanan direction, and he takes another mark going back with the flight. And this time, he's on a better angle than he was before. And again, looking for another major.
We better watch our P's and Q's, Brett, otherwise we might not get another gig for the rest of the finals.
We might get suspended, Brett.
I'm waiting for the email from Radio Eastern on Monday morning. So anyway.
That's right, I've got a yellow card in my pocket now.
Oh, dearie me. Here's Callanan now. So he only has the one behind.
He's got to redeem himself here, Callahan.
This afternoon, Callanan now about 30 out. Puts it onto the right boot. And that's much better from Zach Callanan, and that's the first goal for either team this quarter, and it goes to the Ringwood Football Club. They move to 7-12-54, East Burwood 3-4-32. We've played 23 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Blake Tennant with the scores.
Yeah, you just got another score between Mitchum and Moorabark. It's actually a very close game down there at Timor. I've got Mitchum 51 to Moorabark 56. Sorry, 56 to 61 Mitchum and winning. And as I touched on before, Norden now 7th on the ladder in Premier Division. That's my latest scores there.
The plot thickens.
Thank you, Blake. So one out of the middle. The big Jordanov it was. Jordanov, sorry, who gets the head out towards the far side of the field. Nicely picked up by Collier, who's thrown to the ground in a massive tackle. The umpire sees play on as it came out.
I think that was worthy of a free kick there for East Burwood. That was a very good tackle then.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get a throw in on the far side. We're 24 minutes gone on this third term, so plenty of time to go. And it's a 22-point margin. Here's Jordanov trying to get to the front, but the head out comes the way of Hanlon. Just a colossal figure, Hanlon. He doesn't even have to jump half the time. Collier gets it down the line. Down trying to find a target, but it's a little bit overcooked, and it'll go out of bounds on the far side.
His long distance with his kicking this afternoon, Collier, has really helped Ringwood break the game open when the ball's gone loose into their inside 50.
Absolutely. He's a good kicker, all right. There's the throw-in. Working his way back, and there's the head out from Hill. Goes to ground. They managed to get it out. Njemi, should I say, gets it forward. Trying to look for Hanlon. It's a 2-on-1 over there, but the ball is out towards the boundary and it beats everybody. Goes out of bounds on the far side. So nearly 25 gone and the margin 22 out here at Walker Park.
So boundary throw in, far side of the ground. This is a crucial attacking opportunity now here for the Rams. They've just got to get it inside that forward 45 and at least get a major on the board before the stroke of three-quarter time. Hanlon takes it off. Now here to Mariani. He's double teamed there by Collier and Stagg, and that will be that. Have another ball up edge of the centre square, so not much on offer for East Burwood at the moment. Here's Hanlon. Over the top there is Jordanov. Hanlon going to go get his own hit out. Just ran right through Broad. And so dropping the footy there, I thought there was O'Shaughnessy got away with one. Collier does the roving, but the umpire said it was over the boundary line, and that's cancelled out. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Just as well.
Yeah, they were off to the races there with Ringwood. And as we approach the 26-minute mark of this third quarter. Qualifying final, East Burwood and Ringwood. The winner playing South Belgrave next week. Here's Jordanov's tap over the top, looking for Callanan. Falls into the path now, Harry George. Right foot kick, bit of a shocker, and a pretty easy mark there for De Silva, who's been one of the better players for East Burwood this afternoon across the half-back line. Fires it right back up towards the centre wing area. Had the front spot, almost dragged it down there, did Young, who's been very quiet this afternoon. Gets a tap forward. Going searching for it, though, is Brown, and he's escorted over the boundary line. We'll have another boundary throw in.
1, 2 to 6 points in this quarter, so it shouldn't be going very long.
Indeed, so probably next 30 seconds or so, if I was a betting man. Here's Hanlon v. Jordanov into the ruck. And Jordanov wins the tap, and that's going to go back out over the boundary line. Yet another boundary throw in, or is it? Collier says no. Mariani also says yes, and now it finally is. And that'll do it. So, a real momentum. Ringwood are actually doing a pretty good job of slowing the momentum before half-time, not allowing East Burwood to get inside the forward 45. Here comes the boundary throw yet again. Hanlon has the front spot. Give that one now to Mariani. Spiteri couldn't take a hot footy. Diving in it there is Harry George on the bottom of the pack. Sprays a football out. Looking for it. There's O'Shannessy. Dragged his man without it there. That being Broad. Still going in for a second and third bite of the footy. Broad did well. Broad gets a hand pass out over the top. Now here's Callanan linking up with Stelfox. He pops one out over. That's grabbed there by Anjemi. Jackson's there lurking for it. Here come Ringwood. Top of the goal square. But it's all dragging. Going back with courage there was, I think that was Hammond. He landed on his neck, and they bring the footy out.
Fantastic work by Hammond. That was looking very, very dicey. He gets a short kick out and finds Maurice. So East Burwood, they don't want to concede another one going into the three-quarter time break, which must be imminent now as the ball goes down the line. Up they fly. Jordanov was there, and in fact, he's so big, Jordanov. He just shrugged his man out of the way, but didn't take possession of the football. But now Ringwood come forward. They go inside 50 or almost. Callanan beats his man, gets a little short kick forward, bouncing around awkwardly, and I'll be happy to see this one. In fact, I can't see it through, but De Silva gets it out, and that's not a good kick. So Parker's going to get it back in.
He might have to go right to left here, Parker.
He'll have to go quickly because, as I say, the siren must be close. Parker's kick on its way across the face, and they should be able to rush this through. No, it's still in over there. Taken there by Hill, and the umpire's whistle goes as we go to Blake.
Yeah, just got some three-quarter time scores for Division 4. I've got Sylvan 64 to Surrey Park 55. So a very good, interesting last quarter.
So there is the siren as the ball comes back into play, and we get to the three-quarter time break with a 22-point buffer at the moment for the Ringwood side. They lead 7-12-54 to 3-14-32 over the Rams. Here's Steve White with the major goal kickers.
So goal kickers, only the one additional goal kicker in that entire term. Mitch Brereton's got 3s, Jackson's got 2, Callanan and Stagg have singles for the Redbacks, and for East Burwood, Connor Agnew with a pair and Matt Mariani with 1. We're heading into the final term. 54 plays 32 out here at Walker Park. We'll be back with EFNL Game Day right after this.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
And welcome back to EFNL Game Day here, live on the SEN App, Radio Eastern 98.1, or streaming around the globe on YouTube and Facebook. We're out at Walker Park, Ringwood 7-12-54, leading East Burwood 3-14-32. With a date with South Belgrave on the line in about half an hour or so. We'll know the results and some other results coming in from around the league. Gentlemen, just your thoughts quickly on that quarter of footy, Rash.
Yeah, it's a game that hasn't reached any great heights for a final, but that being said, you're not expecting big shootouts. You're expecting tight, uncompromising football, and that's what we've been served up so far this afternoon. The only interest really is who's going to kick enough goals to make it a more respectable score, because we've had 10 goals, 26 between the two sides, and neither side's forward line will look like they're ready to take the game apart.
No, it's been a very, very painful watch, particularly that third quarter. I mean, Mitchell Brereton's been very, very good for Ringwood, but other than that, I mean, East Burwood's just been so quiet up forward. It's been, as I said, very, very hard to watch. I'll be interested to see if they swing any changes this last quarter. It's probably getting to the point where they had to win that last quarter. They didn't do anything with it. What's it going to take for them to now win this?
Yeah, so we'll go boundary side in a second to get the thoughts there of, I believe we're going down to Ringwood and Brett Rowe. But look, yeah, really a real... particularly that last 5-10 minutes, that was a difficult call. Yeah, no real clear standouts, no real clear possession.
Boundary.
And so let's cross boundary side, Josh Ward.
Yeah, I've got Stuart Wine alongside me now. Stuart, an interesting third quarter to say the least. What do you make of it?
Oh, look, I think we had a lot of footy. Just our forward injuries were terrible. You know, we just kept bombing in. They just kept picking us off. We just weren't tall enough out down forward, and yeah, they just couldn't keep it in there. Couldn't capitalise on our opportunities.
You threw the magnets around a little bit too. You had Andre and Gammy going on Mitch Jackson in that third quarter. We were really impressed on the boundary with that job he did. What do you make of him on Mitch Jackson?
Yeah, well, he cut us up in the first half, so we need to sit someone on him. You know, he's a dominant player. He pushed us forward, so we needed to put a bit of attention to him there. And I thought Andre did pretty well that quarter.
And what was the message to the boys at the three-quarter time?
Take some risks. We've got nothing to lose, so take some risks. Back yourself. 4 kicks, 4 goals.
Thanks, Stu. Good luck for the rest of the game.
Thanks, Josh. And as we said, some scores when Blake Tennant's ready coming around from around the Eastern Football Netball League. Mitchum in front of Moorabark is the big surprise for me, as we we're just discussing. Moorabark really a bit of a spiral of form since that East Ringwood game in round 14.
It's funny because I did say a few weeks after that I thought Moorabark had sort of, it was that Bayswater game that did it for me. They gave up a 6-goal lead, and I thought to myself, then I've almost felt like they've overpeaked. Moorabark.
Might have gone too early, you reckon?
Yeah, I think, and I said this as well, I actually think that East Ringwood really did work them over, not only physically but mentally as well, because I don't reckon they've been the same side since that contest.
No. And, well, we'll see what the afternoon brings in about half an hour's time with the results across the league, but we're just waiting for the rest of the East Burwood faithful to clear the park. And
if you're going to throw caution to the wind, like Stewie Wine just said, then you actually, I reckon you're playing right into Ringwood's hands, because if you're going to take chances, the discipline of Ringwood is just going to pick you off.
Superior defensive team. Here's Brett Bested.
So they've got to have a crack East Burwood though.
You're right.
This half, no doubt about this quarter. Sorry, Sats. There's no tomorrow as the ball goes up in the air. They've got it out of the middle. Mariani gets it forward, trying to hit a target up. They fly. Mark not taken. Still on the ground over there. Ken's got it out, and they'll get it away, Ringwood, for the moment. Kick in the middle of the ground, and Jimmy is there. Got a bit of a funny bounce, but he's gone in and got it again, and then he's taken in a huge tackle over there.
High, apparently.
And the umpire says high tackle. So in Jimmy with the free kick. Little chip into the middle of the ground. Mark nicely taken there by George. Sorry, it's not George. It's Martini. Funny old kick out towards the wing, though. Bouncing around over there. Stamatopoulos on the ground. Diving on it was Callanan, and the umpire's whistle goes.
Boundary.
Let's go down to the boundary with Ryan Long, I think it is, down there.
Yeah, I was at the Ringwood huddle just there at three-quarter time. I actually couldn't really hear Brett Rowe. My hearing's gone a bit, and he's speaking very quietly. But Nathan Cairns brought the boys in before the huddle, spoke to him for quite a bit, and they're pretty confident.
Big injury here.
So
Mariani off the ground.
Boundary.
Hamstring,
Let's go down to Josh.
I think it might be a hamstring or an ankle. I think he was limping off what looked like an ankle injury, but I'll keep a close eye on that one, fellas.
Thanks, boys. That's a huge loss. He's been their best player on the ground so far. Here's a hand pass out, finds Callanan. Can't get the loose foot. He can get it now. Callanan off to the races. Try to centering ball. Oh, that's great vision there from Zach Callanan. And he's linked up with a teammate just right off that draw. He went past Mole Queen with ease, and now he's got it through to Jordanov.
I reckon you're right, Whitey. He's clutching the back of that right hamstring.
Yep.
If he's blown that hamstring, it's season over for him.
Yep. Yeah, if it's that serious, there's no way he's playing next weekend. Anyway, Jordanov to line up. He's got 20 on the year, nothing this afternoon. It's about 25 out. Onto the right boot it goes. It's got the journey and it's got the accuracy, and that's what East Ringwood needed to put a punctuation mark on this afternoon, and that may well be the coup de grace for East Burwood. It's 8-12-60, leading East Burwood 30-14-32 are the Redbacks, and we've played 2 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Exactly what East Burwood didn't want. Their best midfielder going off injured, and a goal against the grain.
Let's go to boundary side.
Yeah, you were right, guys. Mariani's got the eye straight to the hamstring and he's sitting down now, so won't expect to see him again.
No.
So it's absolutely disastrous, of course, today, not knockout, as I think I mentioned before. It's, of course, you get a second chance, but Mariani, you'd think, has little chance to play next week with a hamstring injury unless they can work a miracle. So margin out to, what have we got, 28 points in this last quarter. Hard to see them coming back, particularly with their best player out of the game, but funny things have happened. Up towards the wing, bouncing inside the 50-metre line, but not controlled over there by Brown. And the ball goes out of bounds. A little bit of pushing and shoving over there too.
28 points. It's a long way.
It's a mountain to climb, isn't it? As I say, particularly with no Mariani out there who's done so much for them. There's the ball in, trying to get to the front spot. A little bit of a draw there, I think, as Neat and Jordanov went over the ball. Inside 50 and happy just to punch it away and behind for a throw-in. In fact, it's hit the post, so...
With no disrespect to East Burwood, I wouldn't be surprised if they put the cue in the rack and play for next week as the quarter goes on. But we're still early days. 5 goals, nearly the margin. Here's the tap over the top. It's roved right left to left. Oh, what a goal! Jackson's got another one. Mitch Jackson extends the lead now here for Ringwood. 9-12-66. East Burwood 3-14-32, and they're running away with it now. Are the Redbacks, and setting a date with South Belgrave next week, becoming even more a certainty as the margin now extends to 34 points.
Yeah, they might have been paying at 85% last week, these two sides, but Ringwood have found the extra 15% needed here.
Hasn't been necessarily pretty, but they've just got the job done.
Yeah, exactly right.
So up it goes, Mitch Jackson. He's been terrific today.
Oh.
One of their best players. His Neita's taken on the tackle, but he manages to. Well, I thought he was going to get out, but he doesn't. Wrapped up.
Very important asset to have in finals as well is to do it ugly, do it scrappy. It's not always going to be free-flowing.
Let's go over to Blake.
Yeah, got a couple of interesting scores. Warrandyte have hit the front,
Oh.
70-72.
No.
And this is a big one down at Tamar Reserve. Mitchum, 82-63 over Moorabark as we speak. In Premier Division, Bowen 29 to Roval 46. It's getting ugly down at Putt Rod Senior Oval with Neighbour Park 122-31. Doncaster East Park Orchards, it's a 20-point margin to the Sharks, 59-39. And as we speak now, Blackburn are now in the 6 with a 6-point lead at 3/4 time.
So we'll give you all those scores at the end of this game and try and work out who's in the finals picture. As the ball goes out towards the wing, bouncing awkwardly over there. Callanan took possession, gets it down the line on the grounds. And that'll be a ball up. The umpire says play on for the moment. But
Well, that blood score is now the most tantalising.
yeah.
East Burwood had 6 men in their forward 50 there around the contest, yet Ringwood just ran that ball out at will.
Not able to lock it in, are they, as the ball goes up again. Up they fly. Head out comes out, taken there by Jackson. He lost it, had it for a moment, but then lost it. Now the ball is back in the clinches, and I think Jackson's got it back again, has he? No, someone else, but that's all right.
It's a very interesting point. In the third quarter, it wasn't so much East Burwood locking it in, it was just their inability to actually hit the scoreboard with it. And yeah, as you said, forward pressure not looking too good this quarter either.
So here's the rucking contest and locking the footy in. Umpire says hell without it, and there's a free kick going to go the way, I think, of De Silva. He plays on quickly now. Finds Stamatopoulos running this one out of the back, taking 2 bounces, living dangerously, puts a right foot kick out towards the wing area. 1v1 contest, couldn't drag it in there, could Reddy. It comes loose now here for Spiteri. Took one in the kidneys as he disposed of that, and he's down. Here's the kick up towards the half-forward line. Fought a fly there from Reddy. Couldn't drag it down. Youngo searching for the footy. Latchford's there. He's dragged to the ground. Real trenches stuff. And we'll have a ball up right on the edge of the centre square.
It looks like he's wearing a bit of a face mask too. You might have caught one in the schnoz as well, Spiteri.
Oh, I think that was a kidney shot, and it looks like
No, but he's wearing also a mask as well.
Maybe he's auditioning for the Masked Singer.
No, please. don't want Vietnam flashbacks. Here's now Parker. He gets tackled now as Cairns tries to win the footy and goes over the boundary line.
Could have been the worst show I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's certainly not one of the best ones, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm dropping the hammer on that reference for the rest of the season anyway. 7 minutes played, 66-32, and Jemmy went looking for the footy. Spiteri poked at it. Maurice got it out of the hands, goes by hand now here to Martini. Right foot kick is a terrible kick, in fact. Brash, it's right out of bounds on the full, or is it a minor score? No, it's a minor score. And that's been the story of East Burwood's day, 3:15:33. They trail Ringwood 9-12-66. Let's go to Blake in the score centre.
Yeah, got some more scores. Premier Division. Good news for South Quarter fans. They will jump to 3rd spot on the Premier table. They are winning over Norwood 62-47. So they now jump to 3rd.
Oh, the Norsemen, it was so close. It was slippy. It was there. They were 6th at one stage, I think, after the quarter time.
Yeah, they're probably hoping Vermont could do them a favour.
Yeah.
None forthcoming, I'm afraid.
So, ball comes in. Hanlon gets his way to the front spot, gets the hit out. But they need a few more of those. And Jimmy gets it down the line. It should be marked over there, but dropped by May. Close to the boundary line. And May goes in and gets it again, but the umpire's whistle's gone, and he says it was out, so we'll have a throw in. So, still pleasing conditions out here at Walker Park. But the fizz has gone out of this game a little bit, with Ringwood 33 points up. And we've had 8 minutes in this last term. There's the throw in. There's an uncontested mark from Hanlon. Wadley takes it away, though, for Ringwood. Gets out there on the outside. Goes back inside. It's dropped over there by Jackson. Should have taken that one, but they get it back, and they'll go inside 50 again, and that's just going to be, knocked away.
There he is.
In the hands
Mitch
of that man Brereton.
Oh.
He's got it. Brereton.
That is class.
That's his 4th of the day. He's missed a couple of opportunities. He probably could have had half a dozen, but let's watch the replay, and you can see Brereton just roving around, took the kick, took the ball, should I say, and then just slammed it through. Had a moment just to line them up, and he was never going to miss from there, and the margin out to 39 points, 10-12-72.
I think I'm
3-15-33.
I think he's just earned me 3 votes there, I reckon, for that.
And that is the Tobin Brothers goal of the day.
Yeah,
that was better than his first one. So I think barring we've got another 15 minutes or so to prove him wrong, but he's in the gun for 2 awards at the moment. Anyway, play continues. Here's the centre restart. Trying to burst through the pack there is Burmese there, and he is wrapped up by Maurice. We'll have the ball up.
And once again, the pattern of play has been in all 3 games. The side running to the scoreboard end in the last quarter has run away with the contest.
So here's the
gone
restart. Hand blast over the top. DeZilwa went looking for it. Got to be quick there. Stamatopoulos thought about the soccer off the ground.
Jackson.
It's roved here by Jackson. He puts it in towards the top of the goal square. He had the finger up in celebration, but missed everything. And it will be a boundary throw in. Well, go ahead, Rash.
Not only are Ringwood beating East Burwood, but they really are, really burning them as well, physically.
Yeah, they're in their heads.
They are right in it.
Yep. Here comes the boundary throw in now. 10 minutes played now here in this 4th and final term. Jordanov to do the rucking. Jackson trying to rove it up. Callanan gets a hand pass out. Here's a shot right off the draw. It's just a minor score there for Harry George, and they're just lining up now here at Ringwood. They move to 10-13-73, East Burwood 3-5-33, and we're at the halfway mark of regular time here in the 4th term.
So, bringing it back into play, East Burwood. They've got to keep trying here, even though it looks like a fruitless task. Stranger things have happened up towards the wing. Mark not taken there by Spiteri. Ball on the ground, quick handball out, but they've turned it over. The kick forward by Hill. It's an awkward one. It bounces away into the open spaces, as they'll get it out for the moment, East Burwood, but I reckon it'll be coming back pretty quickly. And in the end of the umpire's whistle goes, and we'll have a throw in as we go to Blake, and let's get some scores.
Yeah, got some interesting scores coming out in Division 3. Waverley Blues have now hit the lead. They lead 76-73.
Oh, jeez.
So we'll keep you up to date with all the big scores this afternoon as they unfold, as the ball is one from the head out. Thought it was going to go out of bounds, but it's still in play down the line. Little handball there from Maurice back inside. Finds a target, and Spiteri down the line. Looks like they may have turned it over though. On the ground, that's where they miss Mariani on those balls on the ground, because he's been colossal on there all day. If you've just joined us, Matt Mariani out of the game with a hamstring injury. We don't know the extent, but he might be touch and go to play next week. Up it goes once again.
But Latchford, he's doing well.
So the head out there from Hanlon. Now it's hurried forward, but not a great kick, and it's been marked over there. Quite a simple one for Parker, and it will be a rebound for Ringwood, and they'll come forward from the half-back line.
So moving it out here is Stel Fox, goes in short to Wadley. He's had a pretty good game. He kicks it one end towards the edge of the centre square, and Ringwood just content to run the clock down. Here's Jake May now, takes a few steps, kicks it in towards the centre half-forward direction. One-on-one contest. I'm sure that was pretty rough, wasn't paid there to Brown, and it was in the end. And they have a little bit of a conversation, but Brown just content to take the free and go back and take all the time he needs, because Ringwood in control. 73-33, 40 points to margin, 12 minutes played. Brown going to line up from right on the edge of the arc. Hasn't kicked one this year for Ringwood. So he'd like to get in amongst it. But he's going to kick to at least the top of the goal square, you would think. Here it comes. Has it got the journey? It has. It has. Oh, what a goal, Brown.
Jeez.
And Ringwood just teeing off now on East Burwood. And South Belgrave looking on with interest. 11-13-79. East Burwood 3-15-33. And it's all red, black and white here this afternoon.
One thing that East Burwood are going to worry about here, they're getting blown off the park here. Yep. They're going to front up into a first semi-final against 2 really physical sides in either Baronia or the Basin next week.
Yep.
I tell you what, if you make it to the preliminary final, I tell you what, it's as bad as far as you're going to go, because I think the top 2 are a little bit ahead of the rest now.
Oh, we got a free kick to start proceedings. Looks like there was something off the ball.
And a 25.
So
dear.
It's all going from bad to worse for the Rams. I suppose it's a fine line, because they want to try and sort of get themselves tuned up for next week, but they also want to take care of themselves. They don't want to get any injuries or anything. But morally, if they go into next week, with a 50-point loss, it's going to be very difficult for them. So the kick out of the grounds, the middle of the ground, should I say. It's a long one. And it'll be from about probably 50 metres. It's got plenty on it. It's gone through.
Cans
it was. I thought it might have been a bit beyond him, but he got the wind, of course, and he got a little bit on it. Let's watch the replay. Probably about a 50-metre kick, bearing in mind the arcs are probably about 45. But it just kept going, didn't it? And it just picked up and went straight over everybody's head. And Cairns puts it through. That'll be a contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day as well. 85 to 33, so 52 points as we go to we go into the stats.
Well, Ringwood have really been dominant inside 50. They've been dominant all day, but the inside 50 since quarter time, they lead in that department 36 to 25, and they've taken 11 marks inside 50 and have kept East Burwood markless inside. They've kept them to no marks inside 50.
So here's the restart, grabbed out of the air now, kicked in towards the half-forward line. Hill goes racing for it with his opposite number there in Pilker, and that's going to be over the boundary line before either of them can take possession. We'll have a boundary throw-in.
Well, they've got to get McCutcheon and Wills back into this side next week, East Burwood.
Yep.
All right, and just put this one out of their mind and go back and look at all the positives that they've drawn so far and come back fire up again in the first semi next week.
Indeed. Here's the tap out. We've missed both one. Here's a quick pot shot now here from Harry George, top of the square. Latchford went to ground. Here's a loose footy, tapping it through there almost. Looking for it again was Latchford for the second effort. Stamatopoulos gets the kick out. It's chopped off, I thought, there. And the mark is paid. I thought that was touched off the boot initially. And, well, Ringwood, again, well, that second effort there from Latchford probably set that whole plate up. And it's going to be...
He's had a good game, Latchford, and the ruckies rucked all day.
Harry George, it looks like, is going to go back. Tightest of angles.
Another East Burwood player down with injury.
Oh. This is...
He's getting up, though.
Okay. So, exactly what they didn't need. Insult to injury, literally. Here's Harry George. Is what they're sorting out. Oh, they're going to... just seeing who is that actually coming off the ground. Is that Neat? No, it's...
That might be even Marcus Young.
So here's the kick now from George. Going to go to the top of the goal square. Plot of a contest. Dragging that one down out of the air. Jacob Broad, arguably the mark of the day. And now it's just, well, they're just lining up now, Ringwood. And he's going to line up dead in front. And George has already got 10 this year. Hasn't kicked one this afternoon. And he moves in, makes no mistake. And that's the 13th goal of the day here for the Redbacks, and they are just got both feet on the throat here of the Rams. 13-13-91. They lead East Burwood 3-15-33 as we approach 17 minutes played here at Walker Park.
We did say at the start of the game that East Burwood were going to have to lift the intensity. They've had their first dose of finals football. And now they've got their dose of reality.
Let's get out of the boundary and find out a little bit more about this injury.
Yeah, it was Matthew Jenkins who's come off looking a little gingerly. So keep a close eye on that once more. It could be concussion as well, so it could be out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it certainly looks pretty sick and sorry. I'd be surprised if he came back, particularly with nothing really on the line. Ball in the middle of the ground. Nicely done there by Kennedy. Gets a kick forward.
Oh,
that's all going in there and taking beautiful pick up there. It was whack and... bouncing around over there. Kennedy's in the picture again. Nicely scooped up over there by May. And here they come, Ringwood. They'll come away again, trying to add to the growing goal tally that they've put on this afternoon. They really have blown this game out of the water with Broad now in the possession. Goes down the line, a little tap over the top. And
who's that?
Oh, the kick back inside, and the marker's
that wasn't meant to go.
He was not going for that.
Let's have a look at the replay. You can see it came right up his instep there. He certainly
that was supposed to be a boo-na-na for the goal.
That was a check.
He'll claim it as a goal assist, but it's gone to Declan Hill. And this will be an absolute, well, you'd think it'd be a relatively straightforward shot.
Sylvan 15-4 to Surrey Park 10-7, 26 minutes gone.
Game over.
So there's the kick on its way. Wow. I reckon he's got it. So it's blowing out here, big time. The goal to Hill, and that makes the margin now, or the score, should I say, when the board changes. 14-13-97 to 3-15-33 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we've had about 18 minutes in this final term.
Let's go to Blake in the score centre, sorry.
Yeah, just got a quick one. Unfortunately for Surrey Park, they'll have to play in the prelim final next week. Silver go 98-61. You'll think they'll be winners. Still got the same score. between Waverley Blues and Warrendale at 76-73. So a 3-point game. I'll keep you on the loop for that. And Mitchum, the bigger winner here is they are 94-64 over Moorabark. So big win there for the Tigers. It is Tiger time as we speak. So get on them.
Here's Cairns now, bursting through the pack. Gets a quick handball over the top. Intended target was Jackson. Callanan did almost well as Stamatopoulos wrapped him up. Parker gets a handball over the top. And Ringwood just playing with the possession game. Declan Hill now gets a handball off. And Ringwood now stream forward in numbers with kicks almost taking that one-handed just inside the boundary line was Broad, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
You knew Sylvan were going to come back, didn't you? It was too good. When they were behind, you just knew that they were going to kick into gear at some stage, and sure enough.
Yep.
This is really.
Do you notice the way that Josh gave up graciously too?
Here comes the boundary throw. Latchford has the front spot, evades both ruckmen. Oh, one-handed take beautifully there by Stagg. Callanan goes searching for a Stamatopoulos, trying to burst through the pack and drag boundary. Let's go to Josh.
You see, Brash, I'm not as biased as some of the people on the media team.
Little dig there.
Shots fired. I'm ducking for cover as well. The podcast next week will be interesting. Here comes the boundary throw. Latchford back into the ruck, doing the rucking as well as O'Shannessy. Maurice gets a hand pass out of the top. He's had a few possessions this afternoon. Martini. Hand pass of his own, almost Broad, got it back. Maurice now gets a right foot kick up towards centre wing. Bounces for Spiteri. His hand pass out now, finds a teammate there in DeZilwa. His high floating kick. Parker's going to give chase there with Young. Taps it back really to no one, except Murphy there for Ringwood. Tries to burst through a stream of players. Dragged it in, lucky not to get pinged, I think. But anyway, bound ball up on the half-back flank. So we get another score. Final score there was from, as Blake just reiterated, but 9 minutes in, Roval 59, Baldwin at 29 in the final term. So
Ray Beard will be celebrating tonight.
He's got the champagne out already in a meaningless end-of-season game with Roval on top, 97-33 out here.
I think he's already planning a premiership party, if you can believe what he's been saying during the week.
And you have to say that Roval now are the clear favourites going into Premier Division. They've beaten Noble and Baldwin twice this year. We've got to take them a lot more seriously now.
Without doubt. I think we haven't probably, in fairness, and Ray's been jumping on about it all season, but we probably haven't. No, but in fairness, you've got to give credit where it's due, and we haven't probably given them enough credit. So in the meantime, we're back in this one as the ball goes out, and East Burwood to bring it out from defence. It's a shonky old kick though, falls for Njemi, gets pushed off the footy. He's gone on and tried to get it again. Little handball away there from Hill. It's getting a bit untidy. He's a snap it. It's gone through. Jackson again.
No, it's that's Brown. Sorry, I think Steve Brown.
Let's have a look and see. We just couldn't quite tell who it was.
No, I'm just seeing who they're rubbing the hair of. It's,
it's Steve Brown.
Yeah, Steve Brown it is. Yep. So another goal for East Ringwood, and they've cracked the ton.
I remember that first game up at Belgrave. He had Steve Brown. He had a purple patch there in that last quarter. Kicked a couple of goals.
So 15-13-103 to 3-15-33. Let's go back to Blake with some more scores.
Yeah, just some premier scores. Got Park Orchards 75-54. You expect to see Park Orchards get home there. And the big one, this is, as I said before, inaccurate kicking is poor footy. And Bowen have no questions of that. 3-11-29 to Roval 6-10-46. So that's pretty
well. Here's Martini, sorry Blake, off to the races, running, kicking it towards goal, and it's going to evade everyone as we took a bounce, and that was a rare highlight there for East Burwood in the making this quarter, but not to be. So yes, the Premier Division playoff picture will get a confirmation if it looks like it's going to be Blackburn in that sixth spot as Norwood they're snuffed out at the final round of the season. You can't blame it all on one game of the season when you've had 17 games previously though. So we'll have another ball up. It's really just a 70-point margin here. Ringwood just happy to see this one out. Hanlon with a tap over the top. They're breaking out with ease now. Here's Cairns now linking up. Here's the kick in towards his brother. Nathan Cairns, who's had a stellar game here for Ringwood, definitely in the top three. Here's the little short chip pass, finds Jackson. Goes back by hand to Cairns. He's off to the races. His handball over the top, finds Stagg. He spears this one in. Looking for a teammate there, picked up by Hill. His hand pass back now to Murphy. Hand pass back over the top. It's a possession game. Who's going to get on the stat sheet? Jackson couldn't take it. Clearly met there by Stamatopoulos. In comes Neat and back out to Stamatopoulos with Callanan in pursuit. Stamatopoulos takes a bounce. Why not? Puts it onto the right boot. Looking there for Spiteri 1v1. Great grab.
Good mark.
Over the top there of Burmeister.
Tried hard, Spiteri.
Yeah, he has.
Has indeed. Some rare highlights coming here late. East Burwood, way too little, way too late. Regardless, Maurice has a sit under this one. Can't take the mark. Going to fall now here for Martini, hugging the boundary line. Just grubbers this one into what's goal. Oh, he's put it through.
Oh. He has.
Yep.
Martini's kicked it. And I have to say, gentlemen, that's probably
the
goal of the day.
Yeah.
Matt Martini, absolutely no angle, Dacos style, off the deck, and just inside the left-hand goalpost. And, well, that's the only goal since, second quarter there for East Burwood.
Yep.
15-13, 103. East Burwood, 4-15-39. Let's go to Blake.
Yeah, got some interesting scores coming up. We've got Waverley Blues and Warrandyte. Waverley Blues just kicked a goal, so that narrows the margin to 9 points now, 82-73. And the big ones, Mitchum home, 100-64 over Moorabark. So interesting.
So we'll get all the ramifications and everything as this game ends and what it means for potentially next week. As the umpire throws it up, we've got how long we've got? We've had 24 minutes, so we might only have maybe 4 or 5 minutes to go on this one. Ian probably can't come fast enough for the Rams. I'll just be thinking about next week as the ball is lost there. Back into the middle, and it's bouncing around all over the place, trying to get possession there was Brown, couldn't do so. And in the end, the tackle is made. Strong tackle it was. And we'll have a ball up. So this thing's certainly well and truly gone out of this one. Free kick for East Burwood, which they'll take and send out towards the wing. Up they fly. Mark not taken. Bouncing around over there. They still get possession of the ball. Mostly done there by Pilker as the ball goes down the line. But there's not too many East Burwood players. Just the one, in fact, and a good mark taken over there by Young. Young goes into the pocket, but I don't know that there's anyone there. And a good ball coming across. Very good work there by Whack it was. One of the best defenders in the competition, and he did what his name suggests and whacked it out of bounds.
Great spoil when you're 10 goals up in the last quarter of a qualifying final and know you're home.
That's right, yep. Got to keep going right till the end. You don't want to be giving up as the ball goes in nice and high. Ball comes to ground. Taking it away there was one of the Ringwood players. Just pokes a little funny little kick out there. Going after it was Callanan, and it's out of bounds.
You'd have to say that Brett Rowe really has taken the points against Sotwan this afternoon.
Well, we talked about that before the game, didn't we? And we said that Rowe was, with all his experience, that could be where the game is won and lost in the coach's box.
Because Agnew's been completely shut out of the game. Young hasn't hardly touched the ball. Barlow hasn't been sighted since half-time.
Kempson as well.
Kempson hasn't touched the ball nearly all afternoon as well.
I'm not sure that Barlow was sighted too much in the first half, to be honest.
He had a couple of shots on goal.
Yeah, very quiet. Spitteri's hurt.
Yeah. Looks like he just took a bit of he just looks winded a bit, but free kick now coming the way of East Burwood. Maurice going to take it. Been in and out of the game as Maurice, but not too many highlights to pick from in terms of the East Burwood side this afternoon. Martini being one of them, though. He lays the tackle, but shaken, not stirred. As this one goes out towards centre wing. Was waiting to use that one. He's trying to kick now over the top. Taken back now in towards half forward. At the fly there. Oh, good mark from Latchford. Gee, he's been good this afternoon.
Yep.
Underrated.
Done extremely well in the ruck this bike.
Tough matchup.
Latchford now. Stelfox calling for it on the near side. Decides to go long now to the contest. Players under it. Plenty of East Burwood players. They probably should have taken the mark. Broad just grubbers a kick now in towards the forward line. Good hands off now here to Hill to Callanan. Got to be quick. Shakes one. Here's Callanan. Straight in front. And he's made a meal of it.
Pulled that.
And, that was a great link-up play. Deserved a goal in the end, but just got this minor score. So 15-14, 104. Ringwood lead East Burwood, 4-15-39. Let's go to Blake.
Yeah, got some full-time scores down at, I think it's at Ringwood as well. Waverley Blues have won 82-73 over Warrandyte. And we do have a full-time score as well. Moorabark and Mitchum. Mitchum 106-64. So massive game there. And full-time for Premier between Roeville and Bowen. Roeville 62-38. Are they the premiership favourites? I think so.
Yes,
I think they proved a lot of people wrong.
Yep.
Don't rot off the Bulls, boys. They're still there.
Present company excluded.
They are still there, the Bulls.
Oh, they're definitely favourites, Roeville. No question about that. But, come grand final, they haven't been to the big dance for a while, so strange things can happen on grand final day.
We'll just have to roster you and Ray on the same broadcast at Premier if they make the finals.
I think the boxing gloves out. So the umpire throws it in as we
Put it this way, we already know who Matt Footy is picking to win Premier Division. He hasn't stopped tipping them all year.
Well, nothing like being consistent as the ball goes over the back, bounces through the feet there, or the hand,
That's
should I
a
say,
throw.
of May, and the umpire's whistle's gone.
Throw, kick, whatever you want to do it.
Danger, I think that one was given.
So free kick to Roval. Cairns has it. He's been terrific. He'll feature in the votes, I think, at the end of the game.
Young bloke that has had a very good second half for Ringwood is Jacob Broad.
Yep.
So
He's really come into the game.
just slowing it down, Ringwood. They don't really have to do a whole lot. Just putting the, I was going to say the cue in the rack, but so they're just thinking about next week, basically. So Lang with the footy. He's got the big man Hanlon in front of him. He's tried hard all day. It's been a good battle in the ruck. Long kick out towards the far side of the ground. Comfortable mark taken over there by George. George out wide. As the ball sits up, and here's a chance for Ringwood to go forward. Little chip down the line, and good, well marked over there by Parker. Parker works it forward, over the top, a little bit too far, but it might still work out. It's fallen for East Burwood though, as they go forward, but they've just kicked it, and in fact they haven't turned it over. It's gone to Maurice. Maurice turns around, looks for a little chip kick into the to a teammate, finds them too. Here they come. It's Pilker. Pilker down into the pocket, finds Agnew. He's got a couple of goals today, Agnew. And a kick to the mark. I thought it looked like it bounced, but the umpires paid the mark. So the kick is inside towards the full forward line. It's Hanlon who was there, but he couldn't quite take it, and it's well done by Murphy. Blake, have you got any scores for us? No, he's not ready.
Agnew
No
goal.
headset.
Then it's a goal while we're just doing that. Agnew's taken one, and it's just a little Joe the Goose. And a simple tap through for his third of the day. Not that it matters too much at this point, but a little bit of consolation. As we just watched the replay, and it was Pilker who just stabbed it forward. Look at that.
Spitteri's going to be dirty because that was going in.
Spiteri shed it into the hands of Agnew, and he puts it through for his third
Good
of
goal.
the day. And makes the margin back to 104 to 45.
59 points.
So an absolute shellacking here from Ringwood. They have absolutely outplayed East Burwood. We thought it was going to be a lot closer. I think we all picked to a 1 to 2 goals the difference. That's been blown right out of the water.
Oh,
what a mark
good
at the front spot there. Jordanov with the Jukes. And, well, that's been the story of Ringwood as soon as they've entered their forward 45-50. Jordanov is going to line up.
He missed the first half of the season, and he's just come back and picked up from where he left off last year.
Great time to get back into it. He's already kicked one this afternoon.
But he's so strong
Yeah. Yep.
and mobile.
21 on here. There's the final siren. This just to put an exclamation mark on Ringwood's day. Jordanov steams in onto the right boot. Well, that was not
What an anticlimax that was.
well, that was more of a comma than an exclamation mark. But regardless, Ringwood have absolutely smoked the Rams out here at Walker Park this afternoon. 15-15, 105 to East Burwood, 5-15-45. Quick recap of the goal kickers here this afternoon. Mitch Brereton with 4, Mitch Jackson with 3, then singles each to Jordanov, Hill, Stagg, Brown, Broad, Callanan and Cairns. And for East Burwood, well, it was slim pickings. Agnew with 3, Mariani with 1 and Martini with 1 this afternoon. So a comprehensive victory to the Redbacks. They will play South Belgrave next week, gentlemen.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good contest too.
Let's
Very
quickly
good.
go. Sorry, Brash. Let's quickly go boundary side with Ryan Long.
Yeah, down here with Mitch Roden. Incredible game, Mitch. You fought hard. You were challenged early, but well and truly got over the line.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, it was a good game, mate. We knew that East Burwood were going to really bring the pressure at the start of the game, so we just focused on trying to win the centre bounces and get it in forward quickly. And yeah, as you can see, it went our way today.
And just on your own form, 4 goals, and you were clunking them early, and you got your side, really going in that first half. But also in that, as we saw in that second half, a lot of guys getting involved. Probably had 8 or 9 goal scorers in the end. How important is that for you to have those boys around you who can also hit the scoreboard?
Yeah, absolutely. All year we've sort of just had a massive spread of goal kickers, and it makes it really hard to defend us. So that's what we've sort of always tried to work on. If it's not one guy kicking the goals, it's the other. So yeah, again, it worked out today.
And just on the sides, sort of finals experience, you've had a lot of it over the last 5 years. You've been probably the benchmark side in that time period. Is that sort of gave you a bit of confidence coming in today, knowing that you've been here before and you're not shell shocked at all?
It definitely does. We've probably got 12 or 14 blokes that have played 10 or 12 finals games, so we know that it's going to be hot early. And yeah, it did really help us today. But obviously we're on to South Belgrave next week, which is going to be a really big challenge. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know all the boys are.
And just one last one on Brett Rowe there. He's been a fantastic coach for the side over the years. And what sort of, to you, like how important has he been just being able to keep this club going year after year?
Yeah, Rowe, we absolutely love him. Like there's nothing better than playing for a coach that loves you and everyone loves him. So yeah, it's great, mate. It's awesome.
Congrats on the game, mate, and look forward to next week.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, we've only got about 7-8 minutes left on the broadcast, so I think we better get cracking with the votes in between the club songs. So I think I'm going to start off, I think goal of the day, pretty unanimous there to Matt Martini. Any objections? Okay, well,
stolen at the end, yep.
Yeah, exactly right. So, Matt Martini, congratulations. Goal of the day, scant consolation, you would think, for East Burwood. They would have preferred, obviously, the victory. Workhorse of the day, who are we going? Who are we thinking?
Well, look, to be honest, I know he didn't play in the last quarter, but I thought Mariani throughout the day. I thought
he's got to get something. He was colossal, and when he went off, any chance they had of getting back into the game really just disappeared, didn't it?
Yeah, that hammy, once he blew that hammy, that was the end of the penny section for them, unfortunately. But he deserved, for the work he did throughout the rest of the game, yeah, definitely workmanlike.
He looks very ginger just on the broadcast at the moment.
He looks very distraught there.
His right hamstring.
Yeah. It's a real shame because without him next week, it certainly is going to make it very difficult for them.
Yep.
So any objections, maybe Latchford or Cairns or anyone else, or we're pretty much unanimous on Mariani?
I think we go with Mariani.
Yeah.
I think he deserves it.
Okay.
Very honourable mention to Latchford, though.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, no worries. So they've got 2 awards, but as we said, would have preferred the date was South Belgrave next weekend. Obviously, Baronia and the Basin to come tomorrow in the elimination final, so they'll find out about 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon who they have next Saturday. And interesting because if the personnel changes are going to be anything, that might sway in the favour of Baronia or the Basin. If they've got a couple of injuries.
Of course, we saw Matty Clark here today having a sneaky look.
Yeah, exactly.
No surprises there. Getting a bit of a look at the opposition, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one tomorrow.
Well, put it this way, he probably knows that there's going to be a tough road ahead for Baronia if they happen to get through next week.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're about ready for the club song down there in Ringwood. So we'll start turning our minds to the Tobin Brothers Player of the Day. But looks like they're set down there. We'll take in the club song. Yep. We'll cross down to Josh Ward. Well, as you could tell, very happy Ringwood side, and they deserve to be. They absolutely turned it on. Let's quickly go to Blake, and then we'll work on the Tobin Brothers Player of the Day.
Yeah, it's got some interesting scores from Premier. We've got full-time scores between Bowen and Roval. Those are touched on 38-46. South Croydon 70-47. Unfortunately, that ends Norwood's season, so they will jump to 7th. And for South Croydon's sake, they jump to 3rd. Doncaster East Park Orchard 61-76. Naval Park over Doncaster 122-31. Berwick over North Ringwood 64-14. Blackburn just hanging on to beat Vermont 82-68. The big one, as I touched on before, Moorabark and Mitchum 106. Mitchum to Moorabark 66. Geez, there's panic stations already there. Waverley Blues 82 to Warrandyte 65. Good win there. That means Waverley Blues will be playing in the 2022 Division 3 Grand Final. Silver winners 94-55, and they progress through to the Division 4 Grand Final.
Well, and the big losers today.
Yep.
They lost. They've slipped to 4th now.
Yep. So, well, plenty of work for Rodney Eden crew to do, but Roval have proven again despite the gentleman to my left. Why they're the Premier Division favourites, but I'm sure.
No, I did agree with you. I said they are the favourites. I mean, when that game we saw when they beat Noble Park a couple of weeks ago, I mean they were colossal.
Yeah.
And I won't argue with them being the favourites. I'm just not saying that they're going to win it.
No, I was just trying to get Ray's reaction on that.
It's going to be a bumper Premier final series when we get around to it.
Absolutely, it will be. All right, let's go to our Eastland Player of the Day. Brash, your 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm going to give one vote to Mitch Jackson. I thought his run, especially after about quarter time, just loved the way he was running through the lines and kicked some spectacular goals. 2 votes I'm giving to Jet Latchford. I thought he ran all day in the ruck. He's up against some bigger bodies, but he stuck to his task well and made sure that his side got the best of the opportunities that he created. And for mine, the best player on the ground, Mitch Brereton. Some of those goals he's kicked, especially that last one, that was just all class. He best player for mine today.
All right, Brett?
Very similar. I went with Latchford for 1 vote. He was obviously colossal, had a fantastic game in the ruck, and he's going to be certainly a force next week. I actually went with Nathan Cairns for a couple of votes.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
Yep.
Was really solid all day, and of course, no surprises that Brereton took the 3 votes. He was magnificent, and as you said, Brash, a couple of those goals he kicked, certainly magnificent.
Will?
Yeah, slightly different tune. I've got Mitch Jackson for 1 vote. Thought he was really, really good. 2 votes I'm giving to Zach Callanan. I actually thought he was very, very good.
Fair enough.
A really good linkman between half-back, half-forward going inside 50, and 3 votes to Mitch Brereton. Pretty simple, clear cut there.
Okay, Ryan and Josh.
Yeah, so 1 vote. I have to say I was really impressed with Matthew Mariani. Even though he missed out in that final quarter, I was really impressed by him. He gets my 1 vote. 2 votes, I think I have to go Mitch Jackson. He was really good. While in that first half mainly, and Jeremy did a good job on him in the second half, but he was pretty good in midfield. 3 votes, Mitch Brereton, no questions. He was an absolute star forward.
Ryan?
Yeah, I've gone with the 1 for Latchford. I just thought, first year player, been really impressive in the ruck all season. 2 votes to Mitch Jackson. He's just in incredible form. He's been able to hit the scoreboard as much as any sort of inside mid, which is great for the club. And then have to give the 3 votes to Brereton. He was just fantastic. Set him up early in that first half. Was clunking them early. Really put the foot down, and was probably one of the reasons why they did get out to a lead before they started to roll on.
Thanks, guys. And I could give Brereton all 6 of my votes, and he still would win. So there's no point. So congratulations to Mitch Brereton. He takes out the Eastland Player of the Day. Unanimous decision there. And Ringwood, it was just the absolute clinic from them, particularly in that 4th quarter. 15-15, a 105 winners over East Burwood, 5-15-45. Let's go to Paul quickly.
In the stats, boys, they were fairly even throughout the day. The clearances, East Burwood won that 15-13. The marks inside 50 was a clinic by Ringwood, 15 marks inside 50 to zip. Intercept marks, East Burwood had 11-10. Ringwood tackles 24-23 in favour of East Burwood. Turnovers, Ringwood had 9 turnovers and East Burwood had 12. Inside 50s, 43-29 in favour of Ringwood, and free kicks 11-10 in favour of East Burwood. But nonetheless, a complete domination by Ringwood today.
All right, well, we've got just about a minute left, so it's time to start wrapping things up here from Walker Park. Blake and Paul, thanks for your job this afternoon on the stats and the score centres, respectively.
Very good.
And we'll wait for the Tros next week, Blake. Ryan and Josh, great job on the boundary from you guys.
Yeah, that was very fun. Our first game on the boundary as well was a very cold day, Surrey Park and Forest Hill last year. Glad it was much better conditions down there on the boundary, but yeah, just all class from Ringwood in the end.
Okay, and Will and Brash on special. Thanks to you gentlemen. Another great job.
Thank you. Boys. Really enjoyed it.
And Brett, great job. And we'll get a clipboard. We'll get a cord for that clipboard next week. Don't worry, I'll be wearing one as well.
Use the walking frame, maybe.
Staple it to the front in the commentary box. Well, to wrap things up here from Walker Park in Mitchum, it was Ringwood comprehensive winners in the qualifying final, 15-15, 105 to East Burwood, 5-15, 45. They will play South Belgrave next Saturday. Okay.
But mate, excellent.